I be having too many people in my motherfucking DMs, bro. I'll say that again for the crowd, for the people in the back. I got too many motherfuckers in my DMs. I didn't think it would happen, but here we are. I got too many people DMing me for a variety of reasons. But they do be in my DMs. It's funny. I used to get excited when somebody would randomly message me to be like, "Oh, I wonder what's happening. What do you got for me?" Nowadays, it's like, "Damn, another one? What do you need from me? What can I do for you this time?" I joke a little bit, but it's become quite substantial. I think it's a lot to do. It's got a lot of like, there's a lot of interesting like reasons why this has happened. A, because I'm playing in more Minecraft Civ events, and every time a Minecraft Civ event happens, there's always going to be shit like people in my DMs talking to me about like Minecraft and Civ related stuff and like things that they want from me. I'll talk about that. I got some interesting stuff on that front to discuss. But I've also, I think Blocky Hockey has kind of taken up a bit of my time here. And I think it's really interesting because I've become this sort of spokesperson. I don't want to call it like that, but I've become this like front-facing figure for Blocky Hockey, or at least Junior Blocky Hockey, because I'm doing so much of their casting stuff now. I just cast a lot of games, and people like the way I cast, and they like to listen to me cast. They want me to cast their games, and so it means I get a lot of people in my DMs talking to me about that stuff. And I'm still like a known like goalie. I'm still a known prospect of like, hey, this guy's pretty good at the game, and so I still have people talking to me there, like, hey, do you want to play? Do you want to play? Hey, can we do this? It's like we are doing everything, bruh. It's yeah, it's getting a little bit wild out here. So I get a lot of people in my DMs these days. What's up? They want, oh man, they got games today. I am not doing casting for these games. Yeah, it starts at 4:30 and they got 2 games, 4:30 and 5. I don't know if I want to do those. I could. I guess I could. I know Kiz is doing it. Oh man, I could. Oh man, I could do it. I guess I should do it. I'm trying not to rob anybody's shit, bro. You know what? I'll do a. I want to be present, so I'm gonna. Here's what I'm gonna do. All right, I threw down a message. All right, let's talk about some Red Ball stuff, and let's talk about some other stuff that's happening. The world of Progeny. Let's talk about Progeny a little bit because we got shit. Oh, you know what? Do I want to talk about this first? No, I think I'll talk about this first. I got a little. I got a fun little DM today, and I think it's a fun story that I want to discuss. No, it's just Red Ball. You will have to suffer. Smile. Let me go to. Let me just do some chill. I'll just. I'll make you suffer through chill lo-fi. Ha ha ha. Punishment. PB today, King? Man, I've been on a couple good runs, Sky. I've been getting closer and closer. I feel like every day I get on a run that's like positive into like level 9 or 10. So I'm like we're absolutely making progress. Sheepo 3 has not been like getting worse. He's been actively getting better. So sub 3 is hopefully gonna come at some point. But man, yeah, I'm excited just because I feel like I'm getting on more paces. I'm getting on more paces that are just like, you know, there's potential behind them, and that makes me happy. What I've also realized is that just doing a little bit of like learning how to do a good practice routine, just like getting a little bit of practice in on each levels, and then just start putting in attempts, honestly. Okay. Looks like I don't have to cast today. Bless. Okay, okay, so here's the funny DM I got today, since we're gonna discuss it a little bit. So, if you know, you know, I'm playing in a Maze Runner event right now. If you haven't seen the streams, basically it's a maze, it's a giant maze, I'm running in the maze, giant maze, and I've joined this little squad of people and I've become somewhat of a relevant figure. Mostly because A, I survived the maze in day one, which not many people managed to do. I survived in the maze, and also I was kind of like minorly relevant, alright? I got to participate in, maybe not the capture of the first memory or whatever the hell they're called, but I've become like this known figure of Benny. I'm able to navigate the maze and I'm able to do it relatively well, right? So little, surprise to me that I wake up today and I open my eyes to a new DM in my inbox. I'm like, okay, somebody from the event is DMing me, but why? Well, it's not like any other DM. Ladies and gentlemen, this man wanted me in on a plot. Okay, this was not any ordinary DM. This was a plot. He wants to kill the leader of our glade. He wants to put his ass in the fucking ground. And he wanted me to help. And I said, okay. Because normally, Sheepo3 is not a king slayer. We all know this. Sheepo3 does not like to slay he does not bite the hand that feeds him. So I listened. I said, okay, let's talk about this. A, what do I got to do? And B, what's in it for me? And this guy says, okay, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to make a trap. I need you, using your trust that Dante has put upon you. You're going to lead our leader to a secluded area and knock him into the trap. You will punch him and bully him into the trap. And in response, they will elect me as their new leader. I'm the second in command. And I will make you my second in command. And I said, okay. Very interesting. So you're telling me I have to kill the leader and I get to be second in command. Now, I want you to think about this, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to think about this just a little bit, because while on its face, it sounds like a great proposition. When you look a little bit deeper, when you peel back the layers a little bit, this proposition is dog shit. This is an awful proposition. Why? Well, guess who's doing all the heavy lifting? Guess who's doing all the killing? That's right, yours truly. All this guy has to do is build a fucking trap, and then he sits back and lets me do all the hard work. That doesn't seem very fair. Second of all, I know this man. I know where he stands in the hierarchy, and I know for a fact that he is not the first in line. He's not the second in command, currently. If the current leader gets assassinated, he's not gonna become any sort of leadership position. It's not even close to happening. He's not gonna be elected anywhere, anything. I correctly sussed this out, and I said, this is a bait. I think there are two possibilities here. Either A, he is stupid. He is stupid, and he wants me to fall for some kind of ploy where he can get rid of a leader that he doesn't want, and he pawns off all the hard work on me. Or he is trying to use this as a bait so then he can turn this around and make me look like a disloyal piece of shit. He's trying to rat me out. He's being a rat to rat out a rat. Can you believe that? A rat ratting out a rat. And ladies and gentlemen, it was option number B. That's exactly what happened. Not 2 minutes later, I responded to this DM. I'm leading him on, of course, because that's what you do. You say okay to everything in these civ events. You say, okay, I'm totally down. I'm leading him on. I was gonna expose his ass. All right? What DM do I get? Not 2 minutes later, but from one of the main leadership on the council saying, yo, you gonna kill Dante? And I said, hell no, what the hell? I'm not killing this guy. It turns out, because I was talking to the council and I was talking to Dante himself. Dante also DM'd me. That apparently this guy's been going around to all the high-ranking members, and he's been doing this shit to everybody. He's trying to implicate everybody. He's trying to sow discord and chaos. He's trying to sow discord and chaos in our peace-loving faction that's been doing so well. The most organized, beloved glade in this entire event. The only one without major problems, us. He's trying to sow discord and chaos. It's unacceptable. So to end a story in a nice way, we're gonna jump his ass next session. First thing, because PvP's on, we're gonna jump his ass. Yeah, that's all. We are going to jump his ass. Everybody's gonna collectively beat him up. Can't say, hey, I never said I can't show disrespect. Obviously, it's a sick play. He's trying to make money moves, and I appreciate that. But unfortunately, he fucked up, and now we're gonna beat his ass. So mistakes. He tried. He unfortunately failed because we're just better. We are unfortunately just better. All right, good luck to him, and I hope he manages to get out into the maze and we don't find him. I want to beat his ass myself. Bro was trying to implicate me, make me the bad guy. I was about to fucking start tweaking, bro. The best thing is, dude, when he was showing screenshots to the guy, because he screenshotted our conversation and sent it like the fucking leader of everything, bro, that guy showed me the screenshots he sent him. It's like, bro, you didn't even include the start of the conversation where you literally started off the conversation by saying, I want to kill him. He made it seem like I was the one who came up with this fucking plot. It was crazy. I was like, well, what are we doing? We're gonna crop conversations now? I screenshotted everything, by the way, so then even if he deletes it, I still got it all unlocked. I'm gonna keep that shit until he's dead. All right, that's event number 1. That was just a little funny thing that happened this morning. Just cute, nothing too problematic. Here's the second funny thing that happened. I need to figure out how to kill Fluxion. Anybody have any ideas? You know Fluxion, that guy from the Ish video? Yeah, I need to kill him. I need him dead. But it's not just me who needs him dead. It's everybody who needs him dead collectively. We all need him dead. Fluxion, who's the puck? Why do you need Fluxion dead? Well, let me explain, ladies and gentlemen. If you remember, I don't want to say a couple months ago, like 6 months ago, do you remember that Civ event that we were playing in that nothing ever happened in? The nothing ever happened Civ event. Do we all remember that one? The one where I was really bored and I was walking around, I was eavesdropping on a bunch of people. That Civ event. Well, yeah, that one's coming back. That's the one with the continuing storyline. It's got a constant storyline that is like continued from event to event. That's like its whole gimmick. Okay? Well, here's the problem. All right? First of all, the story is shit. And it's boring right now. Because, for one big reason. Fluxion is the king of Erin, and Erin is the biggest nation of all time because everybody wants to be with Fluxion. Now, there's a couple reasons for that. A, Fluxion is now kind of a big deal. He's a little bit popular now. He's got a little bit of pull. And by a little bit, I mean way more than we've ever kind of experienced. And so what's happened off that is that Fluxion did a little bit of self-promo for this event on his Twitter, and a bunch of people joined. The server will I think it's up to like 1,000 people in the server or something from what I saw. Yeah, there's like, yeah, the server got a massive boost, and there's a whole bunch of new people in the event. What does that mean? It means they all want to play with fucking Fluxion. They're all going to join Erin. Everybody wants to join Erin because Erin is obviously like the most developed, most coherent, best nation. Like, it's no wonder, and they all want to play with Fluxion. Why does that suck? It sucks because nobody else can actually do anything with Erin without Erin having a massive diplomatic advantage over them. Like, you cannot negotiate with Erin in good faith or good terms, and you can't honestly go to war with them, because if you do, you're going to get fucking stomped. It's not fair. And that's kind of what happened last event. You can't really fight Erin because Erin is the best at everything. You all die. So what does that mean? It means if we kill Fluxion, the idea is that a bunch of shit will like happen to Erin. It'll all splinter off into a bunch of different groups. It'll become like a civil war. That's the goal. That's the idea. The empire of Erin needs to be shut down, and because Fluxion is too powerful. That's the only way that this event becomes interesting. And there's a couple people who want Erin dead, but guess who wants Erin dead the mostest? Or maybe one of the mostest. I'm definitely up there in terms of people who want who want Flux dead. It's me. It's me, the guy who spent the entire last 2 days of that event trying to murder Flux. Yeah, that's me. That's me. So not only do I have good reason to kill him, but I can do it, and the mods will give me their blessing. The question, or the problem, the question and the problem, they're kind of both in the same, is how do I do that? How do I kill Fluxion? Because Fluxion is not exactly an easily killable person, not because he's some PvP god. I'm sure he's very good, but he's not, untouchable. The problem is he's constantly surrounded by a bunch of people who want to keep him alive, who want to actively not see him die. He's wearing armor. He's surrounded by bodyguards. If I try to jump him 1v1, guess what happens? Nothing good for yours truly. Nothing good for yours truly. So I need to figure out some way that I can either convince Fluxion to assist with his own death, because I think at this point, I think even Fluxion wants to die. I think Fluxion understands that this event is being held up by his life. So I also, like, he also needs to die. And I think he realizes that. And so either I find some way, like, either he makes it very easy to kill him, to have some assassin kill him, or he has some other plan for him being dead, right? I don't know. It's like, because I'm trying to think of, like, how can I intertwine because one thing that I'm good at doing, or one thing that my character is known for doing, is getting into places I shouldn't be. And I'm trying to, like, incorporate, how can I do that? The idea would be, like, ideally he is, like, privately in some chamber, and I'm able to, like, sneak in and fucking jump him, like pick some lock and then totally, you know, bum rush him. That's the idea, at least. But then I don't know how I can how I will ever convince Flux to do that, or how I'll ever convince the people around Flux to, like, hey, just forget he exists for like 5 minutes. Just give me and Fluxion some time in a room together, one-on-one together. I don't understand how that can happen. So I'm kind of been brainstorming for the last couple of days, or at least the last night at least, just trying to figure out, okay, how can I propose this to either Fluxion and / the mods in a way that is fun for everybody and also makes sure that the story is sick. Because ultimately that's the end goal of this shit. I'm not metagaming for no reason. I'm metagaming because the story needs to be sick. That's why I've always, supported metagaming as a thing. I think metagaming is critical to making a good Minecraft event. You need to metagame so that the story in the actual Minecraft event is super fucking fun. Or else your metagaming is stupid. Why are you metagaming? What are you metagaming for, if not to better the story? People think that no metagaming makes the story better. That's cap. No metagaming makes sure that everybody is equally as confused. That's the only thing that no metagaming does. If everybody's metagaming, then everybody knows what's going to happen, or at least has an idea of where they need to be at what time. And then once those it gets everybody to the place, right? That's the problem, is that getting, it makes everybody organized. And organization is so hard in these Minecraft events. When you have everybody already organized, it's a lot easier to do these big things that require a lot of people. I metagame to make this story worse. Based. Yeah, that's kind of all that's all I'm trying to say. It's that we need, it's so hard to organize people in these Minecraft Civ events, and metagaming gives us the ability to organize in a way to make sure that we are not stumbling around like blundering idiots, because we do not have the time that real life normally gives us, right? It takes a lot of we have maybe a couple hours at most to get a whole bunch of shit done. And so it sucks when you spend half that time doing some useless shit that ends up not mattering, right? You start posturing for a giant war, and then you just don't go to war. That sucks for everybody. That's not fun. It's maybe fun for you as the leader, who gets to feel like, oh, I'm the manipulative mastermind. But guess who's all punished? All right, you're not playing with a bunch of NPCs in these Civ events. You're playing with a bunch of real people who also want to have fun. That's what people have to realize. You cannot tell stories in a traditional way because you are not in control of all the characters. All right? It's not just you and a group of friends that are all in control of separate characters. You're not surrounded by a bunch of NPCs. There's no NPCs in this event. All those NPCs in your story are having their own story. And you are in charge of making sure, or you are partially responsible with making sure that their story is just as fun as your story is. Yeah, Progeny, yeah. Yeah, I'm just talking about, figuring out how to, kill Fluxion in a way. How can I kill Fluxion in a way that, doesn't suck? The thing is, I feel a little bit selfish, honestly. This whole killing Fluxion arc, it almost feels selfish for me. I'm the one who wants to kill Fluxion, when probably there's a bunch of other people that are probably having probably similar thoughts, right? I think everybody like wants to get involved because I think everybody kind of understands intuitively that Flux needs to die for this event to be fun again. And I feel I don't want to like, I don't want to bring Flux into like a plot when he's already got like a plot set up for his own death, right? Because I'm like, Fluxion is not stupid. Fluxion's a very good like RPer. He knows what he's doing. So I'm sure that he also realizes this. And so it's the question of like, I don't want to take away this moment just for me, right? It feels like I'm kind of entrenching myself as like a main character in this story when it's probably better if this is like a group effort. I don't know. Maybe this is just like my group mentality kind of taking over. But it feels like for this, like this is not the time to be selfish. It feels like having a bigger moment of, you know, the betrayal of Fluxion where he gets jumped like fucking Caesar or something, right? I feel like that feels like it feels like a much more impactful moment than just some fucking assassin coming in out of nowhere and just blowing his ass up and then dipping into the night. Definitely both stories I think are interesting, but I think that the Caesar assassination, like in my own head, that feels like a much more satisfying conclusion for I think everybody involved. And so I question if I want to get too deeply involved or like try to create some elaborate thing. Maybe I could do something like that where like I try to pay out, like I could pay off somebody. Like maybe I pay off one of Fluxion's like maybe I talk to one of, I don't know who's close. I don't know how Eren leadership structure works, but I talked to one of his like close, like, I know he's got sons. What if I talked to one of his sons about like, you let me in and I'll kill him and I'll take all the blame. And then oh man, that could actually be pretty cool now that I'm thinking about it. I don't know if I feel like they'd be down. Yeah, it's a race to remove the crown. I think I could be like I'm sure they already have their thing going, but I think I gotta like, I need to start talking to people now if I want to be involved with this, which I do. If I want to be involved in the plot, in the race to kill Fluxion, I feel like I have to start talking to people now. I think I want to open a ticket with the mods, and then I'm just going to keep it like like one of those perpetual tickets that I had. Oh boy, did I open a lot of tickets last event. But yeah, I think I'll just keep it on as like a perpetual ticket of like, hey, I want to do this and I'm talking to people. Probably just best. Because I do like, I think I can get a pretty insta kill ticket on Flux. Like day one, I can get a kill ticket on Flux. That's not like difficult at all. I also, man, it'd be so cool if I could like incorporate some new members, because I think one of the big problems with like, I guess like incorporating new members, it's kind of like part of the process, right? Incorporating new members, like, I guess you kind of have to start from the bottom in this event. I think I don't want to get too attached to this idea of like getting everybody involved, because at some point it loses its like impact if everybody's involved, right? Gen 1, so it's difficult to gain members? I think definitely yes, but that's because there were just... Yes? I just think... I'm hoping that, like, some Gen 2 members that were new are able to return and hopefully have a bigger impact in the gameplay because of, like... I don't know. Like, you have more, like, time to develop your character into the lore and kind of get it set in, and so now you're kind of like a long-standing member. And so you're able, like, kind of like in real life, you know? You don't really start getting paid until you're, like, in your 40s and you have, like, 20 years of working, right? I think it might, like, this event can very easily turn into that, but it's a question of making sure that those people who are new in Gen 2 and have returned for Gen 3 can, like, still make sure that they have impact. Or at least still feel like they're a more important part of the story or step up. I think the death of Fluxion will kind of inherently incorporate new members, though, because like if people do it like I hope they will, which is basically going to be like a giant splintering of that Eren group into a bunch of different factions, I think because there will be so many new factions, there will inherently have to be like new people in charge of leadership that aren't like old members, or at least I hope so, right? I assume like the main leaders will be people from like the old gens, like old players, but hopefully the new players will have some agency in like where they choose to go. Because the idea is to like I want to like kill Fluxion like day 1, day 2 type shit. Like really, I want like instant shakeup. I think that's the like I think if I could kill Flux day 1, that would honestly be so. The only problem is it would kind of suck for a lot of people who'd be stuck like probably mining iron, and so they wouldn't be like around the world to experience that or be a part of that in a real authentic sense. But man, if it could happen, because I remember like Progeny is not Progeny is not ashamed of like doing stuff day 1. Like they are very happy to do stuff day 1, or at least that staff team is. Yeah, I like you want enough time, because like I think the story that I imagine in this Generation 3, it has to be like the fallout of the Empire of Aaron and like what happens next. That has to be the storyline of this whole thing, or else everything else is worthless and meaningless, right? If Flux lives to like day 3, day 4, then you've lost too much time. He needs to die first weekend at the latest, if not like pre. Yeah, it needs to, yeah. Yeah, it needs to happen very fast. It's just, I'm trying to, I think my idea of trying to incorporate, I wish I knew more about Aaron. This is where my lack of knowledge is like kind of hampering my ability to metagame effectively. Proper metagaming also it requires proper meta knowledge. No, I think Flux does. I don't think Flux is stupid. I'm sure that if I fucking like, I don't know if he'll respond to my DMs. I'm not tight with Flux like that, but I'm sure that I could like hit it up. I gotta figure out like what Aaron's leadership structure is. Who's at what spot? Proper knowledge. It requires proper knowledge. Look, I know you're tight with a whole bunch of people, bro. If I need to leverage my contacts to get my shit done, Charles, don't worry. You and your fucking commissioned fan art, that shit was crazy. I'm like, damn, bro. Why you gotta make your character look like a baddie, bro? Jesus. Got me pulling on my collar and everything. It does, bro. That's what I'm saying, man. I'm like, sheesh. Old man with that big beard? Yee. Come on. Are we talking about, you know, hot older men? Yeehaw, baby. You love to see that. Sheep would hit. I would not hit. I don't swing that way. But I'm able to respect the effort. All right? I'm able to respect when people look good. I think that is something that you got to do. That's not a gay thing. You swing whichever way you can. That's not true. If I did, it would have already happened. If I did, it would have already happened, my brother. All right? I've been commissioned more by gay men. All right? Don't pretend. The father of Longfork. Oh boy. Oh, dude. Also, by the way, oh man, people were asking in the other Civ event I'm in, the fucking Darkest Memories, the Maze Runner one. People were asking, oh, is anybody streaming so I can watch their perspective? I'm like, oh, they want me to self-promote and I don't want to self-promote. Oh, dude. I am violently so against self-promoting that even when people ask me like, hey, does anybody stream? I still don't want to tell them that I stream. I still feel like an icky piece of shit. I hate it. I hate it. Did you tell them? I haven't yet. I might. There's like a whole... Dude, there's a channel in the fucking Discord that's called Stream Alerts, where it's like, hey, if you stream, you can put your shit here. I've been in Discords with that. I've never put my shit there once. But see, there's been nobody who has put like their stream in that. Not a single person has put their stream in that channel. It is a dead channel. It is it's a ghost town. Ain't nobody doing this shit. And I'm like, shh. Dude. I like it so much more when I'm able to be like, I don't know. I have way more fun when people discover my stream like in more natural ways. I think it means that like the people who actually discover my stream are actually like people who like, you know, they like me. They like me. And people will come to me. It's great. I don't have to like ask them. They'll just do it naturally. Such as you, exactly. I just meet I look, I'm gonna gas myself up here. I'm a pretty swell guy. I'm a pretty great dude. People, you know, in most of these sim events, I usually find one or two people that usually generally like me, and they want to hang. And they say, "Yo, Sheep, you were a pretty cool dude," and I said, "Hell yeah, baby! I thought you were cool too." And then they come and they hang out on the stream a little bit. We get to talking. That's what happens. Like every single sim event, this happens. People come to me. That's great. I know it is great. Norxor. You and your fucking 18 slices of goddamn salami sandwich, bum ass. No fucking sauce, no goddamn lubrication. Fucking raw bread and salami. You fucking... That's not you? Which one is it? Is that fucking Motor Jam? All I remember is somebody fucking sending me that picture, and I remember being disgusted by it. That's Motor Jam. It was Motor Jam. To be fair, you are like the same person. I'm learning latex. You can't use that. People are allergic to it. You have to use the non-latex gloves, idiot. Jesus. When have you people learned? You never use latex gloves and like have you ever seen latex gloves in like cooking or lab safety ever? No, you don't. You see non-latex gloves because the non-latex gloves aren't toxic to people who have latex allergies. Freaks. Latex. Latex. Why is it? Why? What? I'm at a very Spanish time in my life. Fucking latex. All right, what is? It's a math formatting software. Oh boy, that sounds like some nerd shit. Hold on, let me look it up. That sounds like some massive nerd shit. Let's look it up. LaTeX. LaTeX, a document preparation system. What the fuck is Google Drive? Does Word mean nothing to you people anymore? We need separate high quality typesetting program. Typesetting program. High quality. Is the de facto standard for communication and publication of scientific documents. Okay. I see. I see. So it's like if you're trying to like write something, I guess not like if you're trying to write something, but like in a nerdy way, that's when you pull out the LaTeX. All right, I got you. See, my writing is like I do casual flowery writing. All right, I tell stories. That's not for me. I don't need LaTeX to write a story. All right. And we're just learning it. Is this like what, like a college thing, or is this just like I'm bored and I need something to do type thing? Like, there's probably people in my family I could ask about LaTeX. Just bored? That's crazy. I could probably ask my fucking mom. My mom has like a master's in like, what is it? Fucking like something biology chemistry, like biological chemistry, something. Like my mom was like deep in the sauce for like a little bit in here. And then also my brother is taking a major, or they're probably gonna get a master's in like big science stuff. They're in labs right now. Like I can talk to my brother about like, hey, how's your lab going? And he'll respond like, yo, this is what's happening. I could text him right now about this shit. And they're probably using LaTeX. That's cool. Okay, I didn't know. Biochemistry. It was some. Look, I think what I remember when I asked my mom about like what she did before she started doing like the stay-at-home mom stuff, because that was her whole gig for basically my entire life. But like pre me existing, she was initially doing like, I think she was doing like, it was like cancer research. It was something, I think it was something to do with like cancer research. And then she like, some things happened. She met my dad, you know, life continued. And then, you know, she figured out like, oh, I actually just want to like, you know, pump out a couple of kids and live life. And so, yeah, that's kind of how it, you know. Yeah, she was researching ways to give people cancer. Yes, that's what she was researching. That's exactly what was happening. Hey, Mom, do you remember that time when you were like researching ways to like give people cancer? That was pretty sick, huh? Like sick isn't like really fucked up and gross. Why would you do that? Maybe that's why she decided to become a stay-at-home mom. She was starting to have like moral quandaries about like, man, maybe giving people cancer isn't the right thing to do. Maybe I'm using my master's degree for evil. I was bored. I was bored. Real. I couldn't get it to render. You are literally you are prohibited from learning how to use random software because you don't have enough computing power. That's hilarious. Me too. I can't edit videos because I lack computing power. So, you know, you and I are in the same boat. That makes so much more sense. I'm just stupid. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Usually YouTube videos help with that, or at least they did with me, but do you not ride on the car hood? No, that's a much more like frame perfect dependent strategy. My strategy, this doesn't require any frame perfects. This is just kind of like, you know, going with the feels and then praying. My strategy is going with the feels and then praying, and you see what happens. Sometimes you just get one of those, and that's kind of something that I gain more inconsistency for easier execution, right? That's kind of what this game is. It's drawbacks, and you know, it's drawbacks everywhere. If I went for the frame perfects, basically there's a pretty relatively easy frame perfect strategy that I could do. If I can get over there, I can show you what I mean. So basically, quick refresher if you don't know about red ball mechanics. Basically, every time you reset, like this, usually when you reset the level, like when you're going into the level and you're just holding, it'll give you a frame 1 acceleration. And that's a very big deal because a lot of strategies have a lot to do with like the way things are moving and like cycles and stuff. So you need frame perfect acceleration on every level basically to get those like strategies to work basically. And that's usually pretty easy to get because you'll get frame perfect reset. Yeah, I'm currently on a practice version. This is not an official version. This is a practice version that gives me frame perfect acceleration on every single time I reset. So I'm just doing this for practice. Normally what happens is you only, so the thing is, normally you only get frame perfect acceleration on the transition to a new level. If it's not on a transition to a new level and you're just resetting like this, you need to manually hit the frame perfect. So basically, I need to perfectly go reset to holding W and to get a frame perfect reset. And that's really hard to do. That's like a very, like, for me, super inconsistent. I can't get it to work consistently. So there is a strategy that I can do where if I get to the second flag, basically, I can reset at the second flag. And if I hit the frame perfect acceleration and like I bump off the car like this, I'll always get a perfect like car jump. I'll always get a perfect car bounce. But it's too hard. I can't get the frame perfect acceleration. And so that's why I don't go for it. It's why I kind of just go right into the car and then kind of just hope from there. So yeah. That's what I am that's why my car is inconsistent. It's because I've inherently chosen that as kind of like, hey, I'll take the risk of this being inconsistent for the ease of access. I'll always get a chance at car. Every time I get past this section of the level, this is the hard part right here. If I can get that first cycle, then car is always like, you know, hope it works out. And, you know, for the most part, stuff like that happens and it's fine. It's whatever. Everything's great. What's up, Legend? XZC Legend. So yeah, there you go. Sheep quick introduction to Red Ball speedrunning tactics. What else? I think, what else did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, I wanted to say something really quickly. When you guys get older and like you and your parents are like chiller, if that like ever happens, if you and your parents ever get kind of like vibey with each other, more like less like you get to develop more of like a friendly relationship with your parents as like two adults that like respect each other. I think that's a really fun transition that you get in life. Like you stop being a kid and you start becoming more like a peer, a fellow, you know, person in this world instead of just like instead of a child. That's a really fun thing that you get to do when you get older. And one really interesting conversation that I remember, mate, I'm an old man. Hey, I'm only 20 something, so for me this is a recent development, so let me do my thing, okay? Yeah, you get to be a human being now. Children are not human beings is the implication there. So in this case, I had a really interesting conversation with my mom about finances. I don't know why this interests me. I was just basically like, I remember asking her like, man, I remember like as a kid, I remember being like pretty like well off. How did that like work? How did you and dad like do finances stuff? And like not to explain the whole conversation, which I'm not going to, that's, you know, pretty private information. We're not going to share, but it's one of those interesting conversations I feel like I only really got to ask when I got older. I got to have interesting conversations about like, hey, when I was a kid, how did stuff work? How did you do things? And so that was cool. So what I'm trying to say is have interesting conversations with your parents. Mature and develop. And so then when you become mature and developed, you get to have cool, mature, developed conversations with other mature people. Being mature is cool. Being a kid is cool. Being you know, a little bit quirky and fun is cool, but sometimes it's not time for that. Sometimes it's time to be a functioning human being in this world. All right? Everybody wants... I think that there's a lot of propaganda these days. Propaganda is a strange word to call it, but there's a lot of people who want to be like, oh, release your inner child, you know, don't stop being a kid, always, it's fun all the time. No, the fuck it's not. Stop being a stupid idiot adult. Stop it. Sometimes it's time to be a mature person. Oh no, my stomach hurts. I'm getting a headache because I didn't drink enough water today. That's fucking on you. Solve that. Stop being a fucking quirky. Stop trying to be quirky. Sometimes. It's okay to be quirky sometimes, but sometimes you have to stop being quirky and just be a normal person. Be a mature human being. That's all I'm trying to say. Being mature can also be cool. As much as, you know, still having kid-like, you know, enthusiasm and wonder and getting to, you know, experience the world. That's cool and all, but, you know, still, hey. Be mature. Don't be stupid. Especially with your money. Don't be stupid with your money. If there's one thing to not fuck around with, it's your money. Get a savings account. Start investing. Very safe options. They're very easy, very safe options to invest in. You can look it up. Look up very safe stocks, very safe portfolios. Invest your money. Don't be stupid. Don't keep it in a box underneath the bed. You are no longer a kid. They didn't teach you about inflation as a kid. They didn't. But you have to know about it now because you're an adult now. No more boxes under the bed. You have a bank account. All right? And as you grow older, you're going to get more bank accounts. You need a savings account. You need a checkings account. You probably need a general stock options account. You need a retirement account, probably a Roth IRA. And then once you get like a real-time job, you're going to get a 401k that's run by your employer. Multiple retirement accounts, multiple ways to store your money. Make sure you know where your money is. Make sure you know how you can move it around. Don't be stupid. Sorry. Quick little rant about being mature. I'm done. I'm back. What's up? What do we got to talk about now? Let's try some level 9, huh? See what level 9 gives us. Boing. Boing. Was that the frame perfect? Damn, ain't no way. I thought I missed that. And I hit a zinger too. Well, Yahoo. Level 9 immediately treating us with the respect and, you know, love that I deserve. I need to hit W so much quicker than I think I do on this level. That's what I'm realizing. Yikes. To hit the frame perfect, you need to just press W so much quicker. Like right here. This is late. Yeah, that's late. Wow, that's late. If you could believe it. And then, man, it's actually a bit of a bitch of a window. It's a bit of a bitch of a window. Can I yap a bit? No, go crazy. Is that not the point of this stream after all? You kind of share random thoughts and I engage with them regardless of how random they are. It is noise pollution, but it's noise pollution for us. I invented the plunger strat on level 9. Oh, damn. Bro's flexing his achievements. If I pull up the goddamn, what's it called? If I pull up the sheets, will I see your name on the sheets? Mr. Legend? If I watch the latest goddamn... If they ain't lying... Okay. If they ain't lying. That is fucking dead-ass funny. Hold on, I'm looking at it. I'm going to level 9. I got it. Dude, I got that shit bookmarked. I got Red Ball 1, RTA strings, timings. Alright, let's pull it up. Let's see, Mr. Legend. Apparently you're a real unk. Level, it says... I'm gonna have to pull this up. I gotta show you this. I didn't expect this. What do they have on that shit? Level 1 plunger. It says NA. It says nobody invented it. We don't know who the inventor is. They don't know. Let me see this. Let me see this. Is this the strat I'm using? 1 frame perfect plunger. This is yep. Holds. He holds W. And he gets the damn bounce. He lets go. Ah! Uh-oh, buddy. I got some unfortunate news for you, my friend. It looks like your history has been discredited. You have been lost to the annals of history, Mr. XZC Legend. You're dead. That's hilarious. Annals. Is that a word? Am I using that word correctly? I feel like I am using that word correctly. I could be tripping crazy though. Annals. No, I'm gonna come back to it. Don't worry. I saw your yap. I'm on a different thing. How do I spell that? It's double N. It's annals. ANNAL. Annals. The recorded event year by year. So I'm technically using it. Yeah, the annals of history. I'm technically using that word correctly. It's a little bit hyperbolic, but I'm technically using it correctly. Double N. You freak. Used too early for that spreadsheet. Legend is annals. I'm not the one being immature here, Sky. I'm not the one here. God forbid I use a hyperbolic phrase to describe some sort of history. I have my look. Sheep has its. He's got his thing. Okay, everybody knows that Sheep has his little streamer phrases. Every good streamer has them. Every streamer has a way of talking, and that makes them cool and fun. And if I don't have my own way of talking that makes me interesting and fun, then I am simply a copy. I'm a clone. What's that one video of the Buzz Lightyear, copy, all the Buzz Lightyears on the fucking shelf, bro? That's not me, motherfucker. Watch the proof. What is this video from? Your face cam is killing me, bro. Your face cam is killing me. All right, hey, I'll take your word for it, okay, buddy? I'll take your word for it. All right, hold on. I gotta scroll up. I gotta scroll up. There's a rant that I missed, and it's good. We're going for a diabolical topic change, but if you're not expecting diabolical topic changes, then why the fuck are you logging into Sheepo3 stream, huh? All right, let's see. Like, before I figured out I was trans, I could never imagine how it was to be queer or anything like that. And now I think about how much we don't eat, how much more don't we even think about the job and make sure they don't erase this. Hey, all right, I take your word for it, Unk. Okay, I take your word for it, Unk. That's all you, King. No, I get what you mean. I think if I could repurpose your, if I could try to explain it in my own words, if I were to use, mathematical, word problems, explain this in your own words. Let me explain this in my own words. Basically, you don't realize what it's like to be a way until you are that way. You don't realize what it's like to be something or to feel some type of way until you've experienced that thing. There's a difference between, I actually say this a lot. This is like a Sheepo3 quotable. You can put this on a fucking wall. There's a big difference between knowing something and understanding something. And I think that's like a big thing with like how people take advice. There's a big difference between, like, I can tell somebody some advice, but they won't like understand that piece of advice until they have gone through some like kind of life experience that makes them kind of rethink that phrase in a new way. Like if I say, it's like, to use a super hyperbolic example, if I were to tell you, you gotta press the big red button every single day or else you're gonna catch on fire. They know that, all right? And then they don't press the big red button and then they catch on fire. Then you understand, it's like, oh shit, I really got to press that big red button. It's the same thing for a more like a better example. It's like touching the stove when you're a kid. When you're a kid, everybody says don't touch the hot stove until you fucking touch the hot stove, and then you burn yourself and you're a stupid kid and you're crying and you realize like, oh shit, hot things hurt, right? There's a difference between knowing something and understanding something. And I think that really goes a long way with experiences, and I think it goes a long way with empathy, being able to empathize more with situations. I think that's a big reason why, unfortunately, the reason why it is so hard to change people's minds about stuff is because of that very reason, because sometimes it's just very difficult to communicate the way things make people feel and really have them understand it. Like, I can tell you, this makes me sad. When you say X, it makes me feel Y, right? But it's so hard for them to like really understand that until they are like in those shoes, right? And I think like it's a big reason why I think there are still problems with like, even stuff like racism or, transphobia or sexism, like all this stuff. Like, you don't understand what it's like to exist as that person until you have existed as that person, and until you have gone through that experience. You don't know what it's like. And so it becomes very hard for you to, it becomes very easy for people to become entrenched in their own viewpoints because, they don't think about it. They don't think about shit like that. I think I think one of the big, I think I've told this story like a million times. Maybe I haven't, I'm not sure. But like one of the big ways that I kind of learned about this, or like I started thinking about this in a more professional sense, was one of the last jobs I worked at before I went to college. I was a swim coach. And I was the lead swim coach, which means I was kind of like a big deal. I was the most senior coach on the staff. I was, I'd been there for like 5 years at that point. I had, I was good at my fucking job. And so they gave me more responsibility because of it. And I remember I was working with the head coaches, basically the people who were in charge of head coaches. And I remember getting really pissed with them, being really annoyed because it felt like they weren't communicating stuff with me. Not only were they not communicating, but they were doing stuff to actively make my job harder. Like they would I would say okay, I want like this to happen, this to happen, and this to happen, and then none of it would happen. I'm like, why the fuck is it not happening? And it's because I'd ask somebody like, yo, why aren't you doing this, and they'd be like, oh no, the head coach has told me to do something different. And I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Why didn't they tell me? And that was really frustrating to me as somebody who was trying to, because at that point I was trying very hard. Like at that point I was like young, but I was also like very like passionate about what I was doing. Like I felt like I had earned that position. It was what I wanted. Like when I first joined that club as a coach, as a person, the thing I wanted to do, I wanted to work as a lead coach. I wanted to work as a lead coach. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to be in that role, be in that position. And I worked for like five years to fucking get there. And when I finally get there, it feels like I'm getting undermined at every single stage. It feels like I am gaining it feels like they're taking away responsibility that I feel like should be mine, right? Like talking to the board, talking to the board, being in charge of like talking with parents about swimmers and meets and stuff like that. Like that should be my job. That's my thing. But they're taking that responsibility away from me. And that was really frustrating me because I'd worked so hard to get to that position, to earn that responsibility. And it felt like the moment I got there, they were taking away that responsibility. And what I realized and what I learned through that job experience, that very slowly through like talking with other people, is that basically I didn't know as much as I thought I knew about the club. I thought I knew a lot more about how it ran, about how things were supposed to go, about how things were happening, and I didn't. And I didn't know a lot of stuff. And so the head coaches were taking those responsibilities away from me, in part because I didn't have the information, but B, because they probably thought I couldn't handle that. Because I was still a kid. At this point, at my life, I was like 18. I was 18, 19. They probably didn't want that experience pawned off on like, a kid basically. And I understand like 18, 19, you're still pretty like old, but still, the facts are still there. I was still pretty young at that point. Probably even closer to like 17, 18 was probably more honest what the age range was. I forget. It's been a long time. But yeah. And so I think what I took away from that job is that there was a lot of hostility between me and those coaches for a lot of reasons, basically relating to me feeling like I'm getting slighted out of the positions or the jobs that my role should have. And I felt like I wasn't getting I wanted to be like the head coach, but I only got to be the lead coach. I got to be the main lead coach, kind of like the person that like all the other coaches like went to when they were asking for, but I didn't get to be like the head coach, and I wanted to be the head coach, and they took that role away from me. I felt like that was mine. And what I realized is that sometimes people are not doing things intentionally to fuck with you. They're doing things because they're also trying to do ultimately our goals were the same. We wanted to make sure that the swim club had the best year possible, that the kids learned as much as possible, that the parents felt comfortable, that the meets were fun, that everybody had a good time. Like that was both of our goals. We were both aligned on that. It was just that we had different levels of information and skills, and we weren't able to communicate about how I wasn't able to communicate about how I felt, and they weren't able to communicate with me back about how they wanted to do things. And so what happened is that there was this gigantic miscommunication that never got solved, and it got turned into this very tense relationship where I felt like I was constantly being undermined, when in reality I was being undermined because I didn't have all the proper information. I would have made bad decisions if I was given roles, or if I was given leeway to make those decisions. I probably would have made the wrong ones because I didn't have all the information. And so that's kind of when I started kind of realizing, when I was able to kind of reflect on those experiences and think back on this, how that all happened. I think I feel kind of ashamed of myself and the way that I acted. I acted very childishly, and understandably and respectfully, it wasn't all my fault, but still there were things I could have done to alleviate that tension. But also it kind of gave me more of a it gave me more ability to say, hey, sometimes it's better to just take a back seat and just let things run. Don't try to put your foot into all the doors. Sometimes it's best to just sit back and try to understand and learn and experience, and then you can try to step forward and do bigger things, right? And I think that's something that has helped me a lot, especially in a corporate sense. Shutting the fuck up and doing your job is the best thing you can ever learn. As somebody who is trying to get a job in a professional setting, the best thing you can learn how to do is to just shut the fuck up and do your job. Okay? Stop. Sometimes just don't ask stupid questions. Don't ask stupid questions, and don't try to, like, you know, don't try to rework how shit works. There are reasons why shit happens the way it does. It may seem stupid and unnecessary and useless to you, but you're not the reason why those systems were created. So just shut up, do your job, and then maybe later down the line you can start, you know, proposing changes once you start to understand things a little bit. That's all I'm saying. I have to make dinner. Please accept this IU for 3 insults. Thank you. Sorry, my fucking fantasy team got fucked because Nico Collins can't either catch a football or can't get a football thrown to him because the goddamn Texans, holy shit, CJ Stroud needs to be put in a blender as a punishment. He can come out later. You need to spend a little bit of time in the blender just to learn that, hey, you need to learn how to throw the football instead of an interception. Throw to your team, not the other team. CJ Stroud. I could have won the game too. He needed one catch, and he would have won. I was 4 points away. Nico Collins had 3 fucking quarters of having only 4 points that he needed to make up, and he fucked it up all the time. I was so pissed. How feckless are the goddamn Texans? CJ Stroud was like one of the most celebrated new prospects. Like, this guy was going to be like him. And then he fell off. What, does his O-line suck or something? It might probably be the O-line, but still. Okay, I'm back. That was my quick fantasy football thing. What else do I have? That was the more interpersonal. What's the word I'm looking for? It was the more I'm trying to think of a good word to describe what section we were just going through in the stream. That was the more reflection. The more, you know, the more reflected time of stream. We got to reflect a little bit on the past and how it affects our future and how and what we've learned. We get to talk a little bit about stuff like that. And now we can move on to other stuff. And that other stuff being League of Legends is back. Let's go! Esports. It's random esports stuff. Let's go. I'm going to wake up really early tomorrow so I can watch random esports happening. And I'm really excited for these random esports stuff because it will dictate my mood. Exactly. League of Legends. It's like Legends, but there's a lot of them. You like League? No, I would never play League. You misunderstand me. I would never play League of Legends. I've never touched a game of League of Legends, but I do like watching it. Okay? I do like watching other people play League of Legends in a professional setting, in like a competitive environment. I'm just an esports enjoyer. Look, I'll tell you the story of how this happened. So back in the day, when I first discovered esports, I think the first esport that I ever really watched was like PUBG. It was probably CSGO. Probably like it was like CSGO, but the first esport I really got into was like PUBG, and I really loved watching PUBG. It was like my favorite thing ever. And so at that point, I was like, okay, PUBG's cool. I wonder if there's other cool esports that I can watch. And so I discovered Smash Bros. I discovered Smash Bros. Ultimate and then Smash Bros. Melee. And I watched a bunch of those tournaments. And then I'm kind of realizing, like, oh, esports is kind of cool. So I just started watching a bunch of esports. And I kind of stayed to what I knew. It was like, you know, CSGO, and then a little bit of Rainbow Six when that got popping. And then, you know, PUBG always, but then I kind of fell off. And then like fighting games, I kind of got into Smash Bros, Melee, other platform fighters, a little bit of 2D fighters, but not all that much. When Street Fighter 6 came out, I started watching a little bit more of that. But one game I always stayed away from was MOBAs, because I didn't understand that MOBAs were scary. They were very scary because MOBAs are very hard to understand. There's a lot of moving parts to it. Whenever I saw a game of League of Legends, I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I don't know what's happening. And so the problem is, what's a MOBA? It is MOBA. Yeah, MOBA. I don't know what MOBA stands for. Multiplayer Arena Action, Multiplayer Battle Arena, it's... I don't know what a MOBA stands for. You can look it up. But basically, MOBA is the kind of game that League was. And for me, the problem with League is that, A, it was simultaneously a game that was the most popular esport. League was the most popular esport, and it is the most popular esport basically ever. It is like the biggest esport. But at the same time, I didn't care about it and didn't want to watch it and didn't want to learn about it. And there was disconnect there. I was like, okay, if I'm going to be an esports fan, I feel like I need to at least understand League to at least a little bit. So I said, fuck it. I'm going to try to understand League of Legends. And so what did I do? I did what I did with every single esport I try to understand. I just start watching matches. This is how you understand esports. If you ever want to learn a new game to watch as an esport, all you have to do is just watch matches, and you're going to be confused as fuck, until you eventually start getting it. And you just have to suffer through a little bit of like initial confusion before you finally start to understand. And as I watched more and more League, I'm like, oh, this is kind of sick. And then I started learning more about like the storylines and like the history of League. I'm like, oh, see, this is kind of sick. And then I started to understand a little bit more of like tactics and like drafting and how to play the map and like macro versus micro. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. And so eventually League became like one of my favorite esports because it is like really like at a professional level, League of Legends is amazingly cool fun at a professional level. At a casual level, League of Legends sounds like the most annoying, worst game ever to play at like a casual level. It sounds like it sucks to play League by yourself. Because so much of League is dependent on like champion synergies and working together as a 5-man group and learning how to play the map together and communication and stuff like that. When you're playing like solo queue on League of Legends, there's no voice chat. There's no communication between your teammates. Everybody's a fucking one trick and it sucks. League of Legends is the ultimate like hero shooter that sucks. This is why Overwatch, you know, is a really fun, like, competitive game, but it sucks at like, a casual level. Because nobody cares about, like, actually playing the game. They all just want to, you know, fuck around. Exactly. League of Legends is where Overwatch was derived from, okay? People talk about TF2 and Overwatch, but the real culprit for Overwatch being a thing is League of Legends. And so, yeah. I will never touch League of Legends as a game, or maybe I will at some point for like a stream challenge. If I ever get really bored, I'll do like if I want to kill my viewership, I will play League of Legends. if I want to make sure that my viewership is in the fucking dumpster, then I will play League of Legends. I will touch up League of Legends, but until then, I will not touch League of Legends. But yeah, I just enjoy watching it competitively. And the big story, the reason why I think this is really fun is because League of Legends, this is the World Championship. This is like the biggest esports event of the year. It's Worlds. This is where all the best teams from all the major regions come together and they duke it out for the championship. And that big deal, very big deal tournament. I would never normally, you know, stay up this late to watch an esports event, but it's League of Legends Worlds. But the big thing, and the reason why I think League of Legends specifically is such a place in my heart is because of the storyline of League of Legends. And the storyline of League of Legends is that North America sucks dick at the fucking game, and they never win anything. In the entire decade-long history of professional League of Legends, North America has not won a single major tournament internationally. It's never happened, ever. I'm not kidding. It's never happened. Not even at like the very beginning when like everybody sucked and like Korea servers were just being introduced. All right, League of Legends is Korea versus everybody else. And everybody else usually loses. That includes the other major region, which is China. It's Korea, and the secondary region is China, and then Europe sucks, and North America sucks even harder, normally. But, you know, I get to watch Worlds, and there's the hope. There's the dream that maybe one of our North American teams can make a fucking crazy run. One of our Western teams can make the craziest run ever. And they can, you know, become champions. And they can do it. Inherently superior? No, I'm saying Asia is superior because they're fucking addicted to the game. They cannot send... Dude, Korea couldn't fucking send a single COD Pro over here, alright? Bro, if we were to play, like, COD World Championships, we'd fucking smoke their asses. They couldn't touch us. But they're addicted to League, so they send all their best players to play League. And so we get smoked because nobody in America plays League because everybody thinks that game fucking sucks. Communist? It's not communist. Why do you think Asia is communist? You might be more fucking... You might be more racist than I am. China's the second region. Korea's the best region. Korea is no communist country. More is crazy. I did say that tactically. I thought about saying it. I'm like, that would be really funny if I did actually just say it. And so I just ripped it. No. Yeah, Korea is basically the best of the video game, and they're gonna win everything. How to type Blackboard bold. That's crazy. You learned a new font. I love fonts. Every time I find a new font, I get very excited. Or a new font that I like. I love, one of my favorite things to do when I was like video editing is searching for fonts. I liked fonts. Fonts that looked beautiful and pretty. You have to find the right font. The worst thing about having to reset my computer sometimes is that I'd lose my fonts. I had to do like a full reset of my computer. I had to do like a factory reset of my computer for like reasons. And one thing I didn't save, it was all, I saved all my files, but I didn't save my fonts. I lost my fonts. I had such a huge font collection. And then when I tried to log into like my video editor, and I remember like looking through all the fonts, I'm like, I remember having a perfect font for this. And then I didn't have it. I'm like, no, I lost all my fonts. And so then I had to reset from day one. And then I'm going to get a new computer soon. I'm probably going to have to reset from day one again. Get a whole new collection of fonts. Maybe I'll try to port over some of the ones I already have installed. But I'll have to, you know, probably reset in my font collection. I like fonts. I'm back. But yeah, League of Legends, it's going to be cool. Tomorrow, there are 2 keystone matches that we have that we have to take a look at. It is the unknown nobody. It's Taiwan versus Korea, and Taiwan is not part of China, but Taiwan has traditionally sucked at this game. They've not sent any team, but they've sent a team this year that has been fucking amazing. They have sent like the God Squad of Taiwanese gamers to like blow up everybody. All right, they are crazy. They've already beaten a Korean team. They're showing up. They look really good, and they're playing against another Korean team. They already lost to a Korean team, trying to get out of groups, and now they have a second chance to get out of groups, and then they'll have a third chance to get out of groups if they lose this one. But I really hope they win. And then the second match, this is the really keystone match. It's the match that everybody waits for in every single World Championships. It's the EU versus NA grudge match. It's like watching 2 babies scrap at the playground. They both know, like we both know that these children are going to get their shit stomped in once like the 8th graders come in. But we get to watch the 4th graders fight it out for a little bit. And that's what we get to watch. I am one of the 4th graders that are watching the 4th graders fight out, and I want my best friend to win. And if my best friend wins the fight, then I get to brag to the other guy that my best friend beat his ass. And I get to hold that over all of his friends. I get to hold that over the head that my friend beat up your friend. I get to hold that over all their heads. That's until like, you know, the 8th graders come and beat everybody up. But still, like, this is why it's very important. The EU versus NA grudge match. We need this, and I need to win, because what happened is that 2 years ago in the Worlds, we had another grudge match of EU versus NA of epic proportions. And what was really important is that fucking EU got stomped. It wasn't even close. It was a fucking ass. It was a, I don't want to say ass blasting, but it was exactly that. They got destroyed 2 games back to, it wasn't even 1 game that got destroyed. They got destroyed in both games against an NA team. And we've been able to hold that over their heads for 2 fucking years. We've had that. And now it will be tested again. And I'm scared as a fan for North America that I will have to I will have to kowtow. I will have to kowtow myself to EU fans. Gross, disgusting EU fans. Even though we're kind of on the same team, because we're both going to get stomped. Either way, I will support the winner of this match, but I really want NA to win. I really want North America to win. Alright, doggo! What? Afghanistan Doggo, you're going to have to break this shit down for me. Somebody made a FNAF fan game on Roblox called Afghanistan Fazbear. This, you understand this sounds like a joke game. It sounds like a meme game. This sounds like a comedy. It sounds like a horror game that's just pretending to be a horror game. It's actually just a comedy game. It's scary. I mean, Doggo has he's delivered some pretty solid game recommendations in the past. So I am I'm one to trust Doggo's takes on these things. But Roblox games being scary is not a thing that happens. You understand. Convincing Sheepo3 that a Roblox horror game is actually horrifying is, you know, like convincing me like the earth is flat. There's just not compelling evidence. Yes, I'm so excited to crawl around in the maze trying to collect collectibles. Walk around in the place and collect collectibles while the scary monster chases you. Ah, yes. How terrifying. Truly, my horror is fied. Level 11. This level sucks. Alright, we'll see if I can check it out. I think you're gonna have to wait. The Roblox streams are taking a bit of a hiatus, so... I'm gonna tell you, you might want to bring this back at a later date. Keep that in mind, because I do have to play in this Minecraft event, and then right after this Minecraft event, I have to play in another Minecraft event, so there's gonna be some... The Sheepster is a little bit preoccupied. Now there is a chance that I just hit a fucking sub 3 like today, and then I have like 2 streams I don't know what to do with. A lot of Minecraft. It's Minecraft and Red Ball, because I do, unfortunately, Doggo, I have to beat this. I have to get my sub 3, okay? I do have to get my sub 3. That is way too early. I might have actually been perfect. BB. Awesome. Appreciate that, big man Dogsters. I have been playing a lot of Flee the Facility, 10-player Flee the Facility in my free time, I must say. I've been an enjoyer of Flee the Facility, and I think 10 player is just a better game, unfortunately. When you get a really good map on 10 player Flee the Facility, it is fire. I will say, as I grow more and more experienced with the maps and layouts and stuff, I think I need to start switching up my killer perk, because I've been a Seer main pretty hardcore. And Seer, the problem with Seer is not that inherently Seer is a bad perk, it's one of the better perks. But it's also a bit of noob bait, because it means that you're able to get really easily kited around by runners or chasers, because you have no way to end a chase quickly. Like, you can get into, like, with Seer it's a trade-off. You're able to get out of chases really quickly, you're able to get into chase really quickly, but you're not able to finish them. Your chases are kind of extended. So as a Seer, if you're going up against a team of like competent survivors, it becomes very hard to be more meaningful on the map, or get meaningful people and freezers without getting insta, and then everybody accuses you. Oh my god, dude, the people in that game are so fucking annoying. You're camping, you're camping. What the fuck do you mean I'm camping? I'm not. I can show you fucking camping. You want to see camping? I can show you camping. No, I'm guarding my fucking freezer, God forbid, because I know you guys are going to come rescue them, so I'm trying to get myself into another chase as soon as possible, you freaks. Why do you think I froze them there? You think I froze them there so then you could insta-unfreeze? Dude, it's like these fucking survivors are like begging for an insta-unfreeze. Like, oh, if you don't let me insta-unfreeze my friend, you're a camper. What the fuck are you talking about? The fuck are you? I've been camped before. I know what it's like to be camped. This is not camping, you dumbass idiot boy. I am not camping. You're a baby bitch who can't play the game right. Sorry that you and your 9 friends have to come over here and fucking save it. I'd beat your ass anyway. dude, it's like, dude, it gets me so fucking pissed because it's like, bro, do you want me to just give you a free unfreeze? Is that what you want? You want me to not be able to do the game? You want me to get you in the freezer, and then I see a survivor coming to save you, and I'm like, you know what? Hey, fine. Hey, say right over here, please. Golden red carpet for fucking you and your homeboys to come save your friend. No, of course I'm not gonna do that. I'm trying to win the game, idiot. Of course I'm gonna guard my fucking freezer a little bit. I'm gonna stake out the positions. Like, I know where survivors usually come from. I'm gonna watch those common positions, and then I'll see somebody coming normally, and then I'll chase them. And every single time, almost every time, I will give up the chase I will give up guarding that freezer to go chase that person. I'm not just guarding it. I'm guarding so I can get into a chase, and then I get into another chase, and I'm able to chase that person down, and then we get like into a whole thing. I don't camp. When people accuse me of camping, it pisses me the fuck off. My God, I wish I could, I wish I could, It's times like these when I'm playing video games by myself, when I'm like, man, if I could just, I wish I could. It's times like these that I hate internet privacy laws. I want to talk to you face to face. I want to speak to you face to face. And I want to tell you exactly how stupid you are. I want to make you understand that what you are saying is stupid and dumb. That the way you are playing is stupid and dumb. And I want you to understand that. I want to be able to tell that to you in your face. I felt this way when I was playing Brawl Stars, back when I was into Brawl Stars. Dude, sometimes I'd get teammates that were so fucking stupid. They made me, like, I would be on my bed, laying down, playing Brawl Stars on my phone. I'd get the most stupid teammate, and I'd yell at my phone to kill yourself. Kill yourself, you suck so bad. You fucking up my rank games, kill yourself. And it's not a good thing. I shouldn't do that, and I know that. But I did it anyway. I was so fucking mad. Like, you are so stupid. And the only way I know, because all you can do online is because you can just rage bait online. And I know that. All you have to do is just like pretend like, oh, you can just rage bait online, but you can't do that shit in IRL. You and I sitting face to face across a table, you're not gonna fucking rage bait me. We're gonna have an honest conversation about why the way that you are playing the game sucks and why the things that you are typing in chat are wrong. We are gonna talk about that. We are gonna speak. Face to cojones, big man. I'm gonna tell you exactly why you are wrong, and I want you to know that. Can't rage bait IRL? No, it means that you won't. Not that you can, it means you won't. I want to have an elongated conversation with this person about why they are stupid. And I want them to tell that to my face. God, I have the dream of being able to tell one of these stupid fucking idiots, oh, you're camping. I want to be able to explain exactly why they're wrong, and then they say, I'm sorry, sheep. I've realized now that I was incorrect in what I was saying, and I want to apologize for my actions. That's what I want them. That's what I want. I want them to fucking feel remorse for what they've done to me. You know what? The secret was this whole time I was camping his ass. Undeniably, I was camping his ass. I said, fuck this guy. I want him dead. That was the secret. I was actually camping the whole time. No. No, I'm passionate about this issue because I actually wasn't camping. But, you know. But imagine I was. Oh my god, that shit would be so fucking funny. Oh, dude, there was a video that I watched recently. Oh, man. Have you guys seen the channel Trolligarch? Do you guys know about this channel Trolligarch? He makes videos about virtual democracies that are run in various games, various servers, like virtual democracies. And he released a video recently where he was talking about this virtual democracy in Habbo Hotel, where he would like he was like this whole like there was this new thing in Habbo Hotel, this new like agency. It was like, but it was entirely a democratic process. The leaders of this nation were completely run by everybody, or it was publicly voted on. You could vote on who the leader was. And then as you watch the video further, he basically explained all the ways that, oh wait, the democracy was actually corrupt the whole time, and it wasn't actually democracy. People thought it was a democracy. It looked like a democracy, but it wasn't actually a democracy. The whole time it was fake. And then at the very end of the video, he was like, yeah, and I ran all that shit. I did all that. You know who was pretending to make it a democracy but actually passing illegal laws? I did that shit. And I'm like, this guy's sick. This guy's sick. It was the sickest video, bro. I'm actually gonna link it in chat just so you guys are gonna watch it. It was so fucking funny, bro. Oh my god, it was the greatest. At the very end, he was like, yeah, and I did all that shit. Dude, dead ass. All this guy's channel's videos are sick, but this video in particular, go watch that when you're eating your next fucking meal, when you're eating breakfast or lunch or something. Go watch this. It's a nice spiffy, it's about an hour watch, but it's sick. Bro was the villain the entire time. I'm like, hell yeah. So yeah, okay, there, I'm shouting out my boy. All right, let's go do some late game runs. Pop. Spiffy. Well, it's a nice hour watch, okay? It's like a nice, it's a spiffy longer video. It doesn't drag is what I'm trying to say. All the information that was being said in a very like nice, effective, you know, it gets to the damn point. A lot of these YouTubers don't get to the damn point sometimes. I found a YouTuber that I wanted to like. I forget what his name was. He was some FNAF YouTuber where he would play like all the FNAF fan games and he would like talk about the FNAF fan games. And I'm like, okay. Some horror game YouTuber who's like into FNAF fan games. That's cool. The thing that I fucking hated about him is that all his scripts were like they were super rambly and annoying. And I'm like, okay, like you have decent visuals and a decent idea of like how to make a story, but you suck at telling the story that you're trying to tell. And so I stopped watching his ass because like this guy sucks. He can't write a script. Not as in Astral Spiffy, if that's what you're talking about. I've been on my Astral Spiff arc for recently. It's like I rediscovered his channel. I rediscovered Astral Spiff. I'm like, oh yeah, this guy's actually sick. I remember now. I remember that this guy dropped bangers. And now that I have more time to watch YouTube videos, I have more time to watch Astral Spiff or listen to him more like, because I have his videos playing in the background as I'm applying for jobs. I just have more time now, alright? I am blessed or cursed with time. Oh, speaking of time. I didn't hit that. I want to check my email. I sent a follow-up email today. I wonder if they even got back to me. I don't think... This is my hot take. I don't think they did get back to me. They didn't get back to me. I sent a follow-up email for that for that interview that I had 2 weeks ago, and I'm like, oh, it's so cool. Please. Because I really want this job. I want this job, bro. I want this job, bro. I want this job so damn bad, bro. I'm actually gonna be so sad. I'm gonna be so sad if I don't get this job. I actually will be. Because it feels like I actually had such a good chance. Okay, I'll wait. You can't expect for a follow-up, especially with a state job, but still. I want it. Nah, we'll see. I'll probably get shafted by some other guy, more qualified. Whatever. I was talking to my dad recently about like job stuff, And he was like, you know, have you considered looking outside of like Sacramento? And I'm like, probably that's the next step of the operation, isn't it? If nothing's hitting here, I gotta keep looking elsewhere. I'm starting to remember how much it sucks to be unemployed again. You feel very defeated all the time. The constant feeling of failure. Not fun. Oh! Good bounce. Good job, sheep. Let's see if fucking 8 is going to give me some joy here. Oh my god, it was close. It was close, but we made it happen. Oh, and then level 8, I could have found a bounce there if I was better, I think, but shmeep schmop. I'm not gonna cry over what could have been, especially when it's not a run that I particularly care about, right? I think once I get a late game run to like 10, once I get it to 11 on pace, if I can get a run to 11 on pace without any major mistakes, I should say, then we'll go do full games. Either that or like I'll just call it like half an hour. So then I'll have a full hour to do full game runs. That's comebackable. One missed frame perfect there is like on level 7, it's not the end of the world. Depends on how good our 6 and our 3, 4, 5, 6 was, but that is not comebackable. Probably those boxes were not comebackable. I think once I've decided that I think like once I hit like +5 on the timer, I think that's kind of where the run starts getting cooked. Unless I start hitting like, if I'm starting, if I'm like +5 at like past level 8, I'm +5. I think that's where you start saying like, okay, this is not doable anymore. Yeah, it was one of those half on, half off ones. Level 6 will sometimes do that for you, where I think if you're like 1 frame off, you'll get that kind of weird jump. It doesn't really work. It feels like it should work, but it doesn't. Oh, I missed the bounce. That loses like 2 seconds, I think. It means I can't really mess up level 7. Because a good level 7 can save me upwards of like a second and a half. That's a good level 7. That saves me a second and a half. A good level 8 will keep me even. That's a bad level 8. That doesn't keep shit even. If I get a first cycle plus a decent car, I'm pretty much even on level 8. Anything else, I lose time. Like this car plus a first cycle. That breaks even. This, I believe, will save me time. That doesn't save anybody time. If I landed it, it might have saved me time. Oh, speaking of sad things, since I'm kind of in a little bit of a depresso espresso mood. Daniel Naroditsky. If you don't know the name, don't worry. He was a chess professional. He was one of the proprietors of making chess online a thing. When the chess boom happened and everybody wanted to play chess back during pandemic days, yeah, and he is officially been dead. He's dead now. People are saying, we don't have a confirmed cause of death, but a lot of people are saying suicide. And honestly, that's probably what it is. Probably just suicide, unfortunately. And that sucks for a lot of reasons. Because back when I was like really into chess and I was trying to actually like get better and learn how to play the game, he was definitely one of those people that I'm like, oh, this guy can teach chess good. So I went and I watched him. And it sucks that he is dead now. Especially because like he was a good commentator too. The worst ways I've seen someone talk about a potential suicide have been honest. I don't know how to talk about it. I'm not close to the fucking guy. I understand the gravitas of the situation, but I'm not personally close. I wasn't like as a viewer, I didn't really watch him all that much past like my short stint trying to be good at chess. It just kind of sucks that somebody who you know of is dead now, right? At a very young age too. So yeah, it sucks. That's the best way I can describe it. It's just kind of like one of those things where it's like, yeah, that's no good. Interesting to see, I think, what'll happen with the chess community. A lot of people have been talking about the Kramnik drama. That was one of the big pieces of drama that I remember, when I kind of stopped watching chess content. The Kramnik drama was kind of the last piece of content of like the big drama I remember like really taking a hold of the chess community. Vladimir Kramnik accusing everybody of being a cheater. And apparently Kramnik was a pretty heavy advocate that fucking Danya was a cheater. Or at least he was like a closet, or he was like protecting cheaters or whatever. Some kind of reasoning with like online play or whatever. And the idea is that like the Kramnik stuff weighed pretty heavily on him, and that's partially one of the reasons he took his own life. These are all very speculation things. We don't know if he took his life. We don't know if Kramnik had anything to do with it. We have no idea. But man, I think that the Kramnik whole thing has kind of taken a very like sinister turn if this turns out to be like the case. Because I think for a while, the way I saw the whole like Kramnik drama was like, it was like very much an old man yelling at the clouds type thing. I didn't think anybody really took it that seriously, right? It's like this guy, Kramnik, it's like, who fucking cares? Some old washed up bum is making false accusations. Yeah, who cares? He was a world chess champion. He's an old bum now. He doesn't understand shit. If he's going to keep being annoying, then I don't know, just keep mocking him, right? Keep making fun of him, which is kind of what I saw people doing. Just like, make fun of the old man, yelling at birds in the sky. But apparently this shit was a little bit deeper. And that sucks. So if it does end up being deeper, that does suck. We'll see what happens. I will keep an eye on like r/chess or something. Maybe there'll be some potential drama updates. Keep an eye on fucking live stream fails or something. Live stream fails though is an awful subreddit. You know what subreddit I should go on? If there's one fun drama sub that I like, okay. One of my guilty pleasure subreddits that I've been going on recently, it's been all the what's it called? It's been drama subreddits, I'll be honest. Shut up, okay? This guy. It's hard. No, but I like going on like the kind of the messy drama subreddits. I think I think a lot of the circle jerk subreddits have been like the thing that's kind of taken over Reddit in the last like couple of years, like circle jerking. And I think the subreddits I really like the circle jerk subreddits I really like to go on to are like the fucking K-pop / pop music / pop culture like circle jerk stuff. I think that stuff is super funny. Because it feels so much more like, I don't know how to describe it. It feels so much more like, it's just, everybody's so messy. Everybody's so damn messy on those subreddits, man. They're just talking shit about people. It's so messy. And I think it's messy in a different way, because I think boys can be messy, but it feels like messy in a very girl-coded way. Everybody's talking shit, but everybody's a slay queen. And I think that's cool. I like when the slay queens talk shit. Because one thing that I've learned about women... sounds super sexist when I say it like that. One thing I've learned about women, let me tell you, is that they are good at drama. They are good at drama. And I like that. As somebody who hates being involved with drama, I do like to hear about it though. I like knowing the tea, but not being involved with the tea. And girls are good at knowing the tea. So listening to women is actually a very important thing that people should be doing. If you are like me and you want to know the tea, listen to women. Let women speak, because then you will know the tea. One of those drama subreddits that's not like a circle jerk subreddit, that's just straight up drama subreddit. It's called OTV and Friends. It's basically just like a Twitch streamer drama subreddit. I really like it. I haven't checked out on it in a little bit, but it's super funny. It's a bunch of like parasocial fans just like following the relationships of their favorite streamers. And it's like, for what? Like, why do you care so much? It's just, I like watching it from the background, just watching these people like do these deep dives into like clips. Like, this is why I think X is dating Y. And I'm like, what? Okay. Like none of this is like they have like full timelines of like who's dating who. That's never been confirmed, by the way. None of the stuff that they're talking about has ever been confirmed by officially. It's just funny to watch them, to watch the little conspiracy rabbits go into their fucking holes. I'm kind of tempted now. I wonder what they're typing about, especially with all this Hassan stuff, because I know that I saw Hassan's name a couple times on the subreddit before I left. But all right, we're gonna go. I'm going to explore the annals of hell. All right. OTV and Friends rumors. And then the next subreddit right after that is OTV girls feet, and I'm like, oh brother. All right, let's see. This is the drama subreddit, baby. Oh, people are complaining about beef. There was a thread that was removed. Uh-oh. It was about the TwitchCon stuff. Interesting. You people don't get it. I commented this on another post, but 2 more threads about the same thing has come up since then. I'm going to put this on the front so some of you can understand it. This is not a publicly traded or endorsed subreddit. It's not a democracy. It belongs to one person. That's hilarious. Oh damn, it's inter-drama. It's inter-subreddit drama. That's so fucking funny. It's inter-subreddit drama. Somebody took down a thread and they're mad at the person who owns the subreddit for doing it, because apparently there's one mod. He just raw dogs it. Wow. That's the best kind of drama, baby. When the subreddit, when the drama subreddit has to live in its own drama. Ugh. You know, it's almost cathartic in a way. Damn, I gotta stop missing level 5. It's really hurting the credibility of the Sheepo 3 does get good runs, I swear, guys. Look, I finally did level 6 the correct way. If we could imagine it. And then I missed the frame perfect. And then I missed the frame perfect twice. And then I missed the frame perfect 3 times. 4 times. 5 times. 6 times. 7 times. 7 times. But we finally got it. Hey, still on pace. It's just minus 10 seconds. 20, 15 probably. And then I had a bad level 7 anyway. I might be able to get the big jump. Go for it. Nope. Not even close. You know, chat, this late game practice is kind of telling me that I don't think I'm going to get to level 11 today. I don't think I'm going to take a run to level 11, unfortunately. As much as it, you know, it infects my dreams, I don't think it's happening today. If I can't even get to level 9 on pace. Level 7 is a bigger holdup than I think it is, or I remember it being. Maybe level 5 is the big holdup. I'll have to remember to turn on sound once I go to full game runs. Pop. Do you sub 20 train? I have to sub 20 train. That's why level 11 is the big, like, hold-up level that everybody talks about. Yeah. That's why, I think, so it's probably the biggest reason why getting a sub 3 time is as hard as it is. Like this entire, everything is just like a run-up to having a chance at level 11. Because level 11 is such a gambling slot machine of a level. It's the hardest level in the game. And it's so deep into the run that... To sub 15 train? That... Do you understand how, like, exponentially harder these different levels of trains get? Do you? Like, even sub 20 train is already, like, a bitch and a half that I can barely hit, like, 5% of the time. Sub 15 train is, like, hardware limit. It's hardware limited. That's how hard it is. It's fucking hardware limited. Like, you need to have a certain level of, like... You need to have, like, a good enough, precise enough keyboard to even get a chance at doing that consistently. No, you could. I think you could. I think all the... Like, I learned how to do every single level you're seeing me do. I did it the very first time. I learned how to do it within half an hour. I completed each level within half an hour. For the very first time. The problem has always been consistency. The challenge has always been... If I had a good guide? Yeah, I had a good guide, luckily. I had back then I had basically a lot of the top runners in my chat basically telling me exactly what I needed to go for. All the splits you're seeing that was made by a top player. A lot of the strategies, quirks that I know about the strategies... Those are from talking to top players. I got a lot of help. But unfortunately, at some point I just have to execute. Yeah, exactly, Norxor. He's here for the content. And I just really want to see a sub 3. Man, I really want this. It's kind of a bummer that I chose to pick such a painful speedrun as like my first foray into the genre, but yep, that was not gonna work. Cause he speed ran Red Ball for a little bit and fucking got the time because he's amazing at the game. He's amazing at like any game he wants to play. He had like he had world record for like a long time, I think. It was recently beaten by fucking Divided by Zero. I don't know, when you start, I mean, like when you think about it, like Mario and this game are not like so different in terms of like speedrun gameplay, right? They're very short games that rely on very precise, you know, very precise button presses. It kind of makes sense. Like this speedrun is right up his alley, right? Like Nifsky, like Red Ball, like when you think about the kind of speedruns that Nifsky is good at, like this shit is probably like, shit is probably right up his alley, bro. You kidding me? All I gotta do is hit the buttons at the correct time. Bro, he plays like the most technically difficult speedrun in the world. Fucking Mario. You think he's not gonna be able to like kill this fucking bum-ass Red Ball community? What happened? Rare EG stopped running when the shit got hard? I don't diss him. Why the fuck would I want to continue to speedrun this fuck-ass game, bro? Red Ball? He did his time, alright, in prison. He got out. He's a free man now. He got out of the system. This is like seeing somebody like finally go free from prison and being like sad about it. Put that man back in the cell. You watched the one Red Ball video that everybody watched. It's over for you. Once my story is over, I will be able to finally rest. But until then, you haven't watched the ones where my face shows up in it. Is there still a world record on there that has my face in the fucking video? I think there is. Yeah, the Grinch ones. It's not like a full video. There's not a whole lot of Red Ball 4 stuff on what's his name's channel. But he does have a couple of snippets of Incredi's runs, and I do make an appearance in a couple of the speedrun videos, which is really funny. I wasn't gonna make it. I got a bad jump. Fuck me, man. I am not cooking today. Yeah, I think in general, Red Ball is kind of a game that had a expiration date on it. And I think that we've kind of approached and passed that expiration date. Now this is kind of just, you know, It's just it's a much less popular speedrun now, and it's like, it's understandable, you know? It had its golden era, it's had its years, and now it's, you know, it's gonna sit in the annals of history of like the speedruns that once were, right? That's fine. That is A-okay. My viewer count on Twitch? What a crazy fucking change of topic. What about it? Your take on Twitch viewer count? Oh, no, Twitch viewer count change. Oh, shit. No, okay, hold on. I misread that entirely. Hold on, let me reset her. I think I know what you're talking about. I need to look at it specifically, though. Like, how does it, like, I've heard about, like, there is a change in the way they count viewers, but I don't know how it actually works. Man, hold on, let me look this up. Twitch viewer count changes. Let me see. I mean, it's like anti-botting, yeah? Unless you send messages in chat. I think it's hard for... I'm trying to look at this from Twitch's end, and I think it's just hard. Because... you need to make sure you're giving advertisers return. And return is people watching your ads. That's how you make money. And Twitch knows they need to make money or else their shit's gonna get cut by Amazon. And so, at some point, it's like... I don't know. It's kind of hard for me to really talk about this in any meaningful way because I just don't care. Like, maybe I've got like 10, 12 people watching me. It says 6 for me, but maybe it says like, maybe I got like 10, 12, a million people watching me. Who fucking knows? I don't know. Does it really matter? I don't know. Lurkers are not trying to be like, you know, lurkers are not here to be talked to. They're here to listen, all right? That's kind of their thing. Best part about this Twitch shit is that it's not my job, so I don't have to think about these things. I just do this because I want to. So I don't have like a... I don't know, I don't have that deep of an opinion. I think it's, you know, I probably realize there are reasons why Twitch does this. To counteract bots, to make sure that advertisers are getting a competent understanding of like, if we're going to sponsor something or we want our ads run on specific streamers or specific streams, we want to know that the ads that we're going to be paying for are going to be seen. Stuff like that. Like, yeah. Probably a whole bunch of reasons. I wish I could give you anything more deep than that. Definitely it's gonna hurt like the smaller end streamers, but like, fuck man, do you like... If you're so, like, I think for streamers, like, if you're so fucking mad about this shit, then like, I don't know, stop giving so much of a shit about numbers. Oh my god. You people are so like freakily numbers addicted. You're gonna kill yourselves. Why do you care, bro? As much as you do. You're not making like Like, your money isn't gonna come from like the amount of viewers on the screen, all right? View count is just a fucking... Your view count is just a metric to make you feel happy about yourself. That's all it is. It doesn't increase your fucking dollar bills at all. The only thing that does that is subs. If they really like you, they're gonna sub. Okay? I am maybe the worst. You know what? Actually, I'm starting to realize I'm like the worst person to ask this question, because I will consistently like do things that fuck my viewer count like every time. Like time after time after time, I will do things that just slash my viewership in half. And I don't care. I hate my viewers. Yeah, I do actually. I am like the worst person to ask this question. Man, I don't give a shit. If I find some random game that I want to play and my entire chat says, no, this sucks, don't do it, I don't care. I don't give a damn. I'm playing that shit whether you like it or not. The Blocky Hockey arc was like the bottom of the barrel. I was scraping for viewers. I did not care at all, bro. I balled regardless. Bro, I've walked away from so many games that like gave me consistent viewership count. I was getting like 20 viewers consistently on like Hypixel Bed Wars. I said that shit boring. I walked away. I was getting 20 viewers a stream like late stage fucking Voxium.io. I said this shit boring. I walked it away. All right. I am not afraid to like do something drastic and like change something. We're rough as shit. That's how it always works, man. You guys always like come back once you realize it's like, man, you know, maybe this guy Sheep isn't like entirely awful with his content choices. Maybe he knows what he's doing a little bit. You guys always come back. But for the first little bit, if you're not instantly in love with the fucking game I'm playing, you guys will dip out. That's fine. That's okay. I don't got beef with it. You're bored. You don't want to watch. That's fine. I'm not forcing you to watch. Shit is your own choice. You want to watch? You don't want to watch? Guess what? You live your own life. I'm not here to rule it for you. But generally, I think most of the games that I choose to put on stream, they're not like horrifically boring pieces of shit for the most part. I think I do a pretty good job of choosing what games I put on stream and what games I play on stream. I think I'm pretty good at that. Like check every Civ event, man. Every Civ event, I bleed viewers like a motherfucker, bro. I still play in Civ events, man. Like half the time, I don't think half those Civ event streams are even that good for the most part. It's just me like going around doing nothing for the most part. I'm going around listening to like random speeches and talking shit. It's like, those aren't like super like exciting streams for the most part. Civ event streams are not like super fun to watch live. Why I'm here right now? Probably something Hypixel. Just way too late. Oh no, you're talking about right now. I thought you were talking about like in general. I'd watch during Progeny. I guess Progeny does have its like advantages. I guess playing in so many Civ events, again, I just let Civ events marinate, and now you know now Civ events are popping. I've been doing this shit for 2 years, bro. Half of these goddamn Civ event streamers, they don't know anything. They don't know how to stream these Civ events, man. I've been doing this forever. All right, I know the vibes. You want to get a unique perspective into your Civ events that you want to watch? You go to Sheep003, bro. I'm a demon in these Civ events, bro. I'm a demon in these fuck-ass Civ events, bro. You can watch the normal perspective of everybody else, or you can watch the cool fucking meta perspective of Sheep003. Okay, Sheep003, the most unfiltered Civ streamer that's ever existed, bro. I call it like I see it. Every time. I don't switch up. Call me 6ix9ine. Keep going. I know. I heard the rhyme and I'm like, oh shit, this is kind of fire. I had to stop though, so I didn't ruin it. But I had the rhyme there. You just gotta sometimes mirrors, you gotta know when to stop and hold. You know? Gotta know when to hold them, gotta know when to fold them. And I'm just holding. It's okay. but yeah, I think that the Civ events are super fun for me just because I know the kind of viewer that is into Civ events right now. And I'll tell you exactly what kind of viewer is into Civ events right now. Hint, hint, secret, secret. It's the same kind of people who watch the Dream SMP. All right? A lot of those drifting Dream SMP fans have founded their new purchase. Okay? A lot of these new gen Dream SMP fans that are too young for the Dream SMP are finding their Dream SMP. And it's right now, it's become the Civ events, man. And I know what kind of viewer that is, and I know that I am not the kind of streamer for those viewers. And it's half the reason why I do not like to do a lot of self-promotion, especially because I know that I am associated inside of this Civ bubble. I understand. And I am not trying to do that because I understand what kind of viewers these are, and I am not built for those people. I do not want to give these people culture shock. I want to let them enjoy their thing, let them enjoy their little community, let them have fun. They are not going to like me. I am not for them. Okay? I do not want them to know the dark secret behind Shpood's bodyguard, okay? Don't tell them, all right? I'm just sheep. Every time I go on Shpood's stream, his chat goes crazy. They love me over there. They don't know me. None of them have watched my fucking stream, and I want to keep it that way. I want to keep it that way. Shout out Shpood's chat. You guys are great. You guys do not want to watch the sheep stream. Don't come here. It's not good for you, all right? You have to be a fucking demon to watch this shit. Experience the sheep. Oh, dude. Bro, it would be diafucking-bolical. They have to hear a nuanced take, bro. Sheepo 3, like, at his worst. The worst, like, Sheepo 3 with his worst optics. Like with the worst optics, the worst way of explaining everything. Oh, boy. It would be a fucking... Bro, I'd be getting canceled on Twitter by, like, 20 people. It'd be the worst Twitter canceling ever. At least mostly. Exactly. I am usually, for the most part. Now, there have been times that I've been wrong, and I've always admitted that. I think for the most part, when I am wrong, or when I say some dumb shit, for the most part, I think I'm pretty good at, like, coming back and saying, yeah, I was pretty dumb. But for the most part, I tend to be kind of on the money with a lot of my takes. Especially when it comes to, like, stuff that isn't, like, directly related to politics. I think drama-related stuff, I think even like Civ event related stuff. I think Civ event related stuff, definitely there's arguments. But when I'm talking about Civ events, I think for the most part, I'm fucking right on the money. All right? I just don't say it very nice. All right? I don't say it very nice. And I understand that. I do not hold your hand through a lot of the stuff that I go through sometimes. And that's arguably my fault for not being a better communicator. But, you know, I'm here to get to the fact of the matter. I'm here to get to the fact of the matter, as opposed to, you know, how the fact of the matter sounds, right? I got 2 chicken schnitzels. I have a frozen Stromboli in my freezer. And I don't know why I bought it, but I had a discount on it. I had like I had a $1 off coupon. And it was from a brand that I really liked their frozen pizzas, and I didn't realize they made Stromboli. So I bought a frozen Stromboli. And I don't quite know what to do with it, because it's not big enough for like a full meal, but it's not small enough for a light snack. Oh, speaking of food. Oh, Mike, I have a top... Well, thank you for reminding me. God damn, Charles. Okay, I'm totally going to switch the topic off sheep being based. Sheep, we have food takes. We're talking about food, and I need opinions here. All right. We are doing food. Hold on. I want to go dumpster diving for a quick second, so I have evidence of what I'm talking about. Because, okay, so recently the Sheepo 3 food meta has evolved. As you know, Sheepo 3 a big meal prepper. But I'm also a big sweet fiend. I like it when it's sweet. I'm sweet like candy, and I like being sweet like candy, and I like when my food is sweet like candy. What can I say? I'm a sweet fiend, but I also understand that sweet means sugar, and sugar means bad. And it means calories. Not that sugar is inherently bad, it means calories are bad. That's no good. So what I've done is that I need a way to basically curtail the sweet cravings that the sheepster has in his body. And the way that I've been able to do that at a pretty low cost is that recently I've been making myself brownies. But not brownies like the way you think I've been making brownies. Basically what I do is I get a box mix of brownies. I mix it with an egg, some water, some applesauce, and some protein powder. I mix it all together. I throw it in. I bake it up. And then I cut it into tiny little bites and I freeze them. So I turn like one box of brownie mix into like, it lasts for like 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks. I can make it last for 2-3 weeks. I'm just eating like a little bit every time. Okay. And so recently I got a little bit nasty with it. Okay. Because the box mix that I've been buying, how does applesauce taste in the brownies? You can't taste it at all. Honestly, it would probably be richer and more like, it would taste richer and probably better if I used like the oil that it like, because all these box brownie recipes, they want you to use like vegetable oil, like 1/3 cup of vegetable. I'm like, fuck that shit. So I use applesauce because it's lower calorie and it is like, you know, it's better for you. And so, and you can't really taste it. You kind of just get a little bit less like ooey gooey fudginess. It's just a little bit less of a fudgy brownie. That's fine. Doesn't matter to me. But here's the real thing. Okay, here's the kicker. And I'm actually here, I'm here to get your opinion, but also to justify my like take on this, because the box mix that I've been using, it's been from Pillsbury. It's been this Pillsbury non-sugar brownie mix, and I've been using it not specifically because it's non-sugar, although partially because it's no sugar, but also because it's very low calorie. It's 90 calories per serving for just the mix. That's very low for a box mix. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. Low calorie, tastes pretty good. I've been using that for like a little bit now. I'd say for the last couple of months I've been using that. Recently though, I've been eyeing up the other box mixes on the shelf, and I've been getting ideas. I've been getting like, man, I wonder what those other because I see like the Ghirardelli box mixes. They got chocolate, double chocolate, dark chocolate, and I'm like, man, those sound good. But then I always check on the box and it says like 130 calories per serving. That's 40 more calories per serving. That's no good. And so I've always said, no, stop yourself, sheep. Maintain your fitness goals. But I've been wanting to try them. And so you know what? I caved. I got the lowest calorie box mix Ghirardelli that I could find. It was the double chocolate for 130 calories per serving. It was the lowest calorie one I could find that was like, had like sugar in it and all that shit. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try it out, and I'm gonna see how does it taste better. A, does it taste better? And B, how much better does it taste? And I have it. I made it, and I cooked it, and I baked it, and I have to tell you, I have to unfortunately inform you guys that this is another one of my theories that shit with no sugar just tastes worse. Dude, it's so much better. It's like fucking night and day. This non-sugar fucking box mix is fucking nothing compared to the actual good box mix. Even with all my substitutions, even with no oil, even with no nothing, it still tastes fucking amazing. And now I'm having misgivings. Like, man, should I just stick with it? Should I just stick with it now? This higher calorie count. I'll just tank the extra calories because it tastes so much better. I don't know what to do anymore, chat. I'm in peril because one side of me says I want the lower calories so I can lose some weight. Because I know the reason why I'm not losing like significant amount of weight. If I wanted to lose weight, I know exactly what I could do. There's an easy like 1,000 calories I could cut out of my diet tomorrow, and I'm not going to do it because it would make my life significantly worse. It's called ice cream, okay? That's why I'm going to put raspberries in the brownie. That's not going to solve anything. That doesn't lower the amount of calories. No, the problem is I need lower calories. Fruit, you know, for as healthy as it is, it does have pretty relatively high calorie count, okay? Fruit is not like a low calorie option. I need to go do full runs. I've totally missed it. You guys got me talking about shit for too long. God damn it, stop distracting me, chat. Freak. I gotta go do full runs. Lol, it's easy. But yeah, that's kind of been my new thing. My new brownies taste better. I love my brownies, and I don't think I'm gonna change. Also, because I've seen that exact same box mix in the grocery outlet, and it's cheaper. It's cheap as hell. So I'm probably just saving money, honestly. Now the real money saver would just not to be not to buy box mix at all and just cut the brownies entirely out of my diet. But shut the fuck up, nerd. Stop ruining everything. Let me eat. I love sweet. I'm sweet as can be. You need some sweet? I love sweet. If I didn't love sweet things so much, I'd be... Bro, I dream of being one of those people like, man, I don't actually like sweet stuff that much. There's some people who just like that. Oh, man, sweet stuff? No, not really for me. I like savory stuff. I like it when it's savory. I much prefer to have, like, eggs. What? You're gonna have eggs and fucking chocolate for breakfast? Like, what are we talking about? Like, chocolate is like the best part of like an unhealthy breakfast. Having like a chocolate like scone or something. Having some raisins in your scone. Like, is that not the best part of breakfast? It's the sweet stuff. It's cinnamon rolls, man. I love eating like fruit with cinnamon rolls. Like, oh man, I love all the sweet stuff for breakfast. I'm an American through and through. Yeehaw. I love America. I love this the Americanized breakfast. I love pancakes with maple syrup. I love the sweet things, man, Charles. I'm an evil man, and I cannot stop myself. I love salt and sour, man. Feels like it's got it. Like if you're trying to be like a fitness guy, that's got to be so much easier. I guess maybe it would kind of suck because all the protein powders are all like sweet stuff. Like how do you get like a... I guess maybe like go for a plain protein powder, but then even like most of like the stuff you put protein powder in is like sweet. I guess there's trade-offs. Most of the protein powder stuff, it's all sweet. Why our bodies are built different? Yeah. I think ultimately this is why I'm never going to be like I'm never going to be a skinny femboy. I will never be a skinny femboy. I'm always going to be a bit of a bulkier guy, and it's, you know, it's because I want to have fun. Maybe, I think I've always been interested, like, what if I spent, like, 6 months just, like, super hardcore diet, like, I'm tracking macros, I'm, like, going super hard. I wonder, like, if I got, like, a personal trainer and a dietitian and everything, I wonder how fucking ripped I could be. You would want to kill yourself? Probably. But what I would do is I'd turn it into a challenge. Where what I would do is I'd spend like 8 months getting super ripped, and then at the end of it, I'd do like a fucking photo shoot. I'll just do a sexy photo shoot at the end with my ripped, hot body. And then I'll go back to eating like shit. But just for like one time for the one. I just try to be as hot as possible. And then I immortalize it forever in like a fucking calendar or whatever. What kind of success have you made, Sheep? That's an odd question. What kind of success have I made? I don't think I've made success as much as I've found success. Maybe that's a bit of a... Maybe that's a bad way of describing it. Maybe I have made success. I don't feel like I've made success. I feel like my success has always kind of been like a byproduct of something else. Like it's always been a path. I feel like I haven't done enough to have made success. I guess maybe I'm looking too much into your wording with it, but I think it's an interesting idea to look into. Like, I feel like one of those like things is like at some point in my life I want to do something that is like impactful and special and important and cool. And I want to do it like my own. I want it to be my own thing. Buff sheep, what a dream, huh? I'm already doing. I'm actually not to gas myself up. I've been feeling pretty good about myself recently in the gym. Ever since I've been like reamping my gym program now with my new stretching routine and just the new way I'm doing exercises. Maybe I always feel this way during arm day. It's a lot easier to get like a pump in the gym and like you look really good. I'd be lifting though. I'd be lifting heavy weights. And the other thing that I will say that has been kind of jacking my ego a little bit is that sometimes, more recently these days, I've been seeing other people in my gym. Because normally I'm all by myself. And I don't normally see other people in the gym, right? And the other people that I see in the gym, they come in, they look around like they're fucking terrified. And they are skinny, bro. They got those stick arms. And I'm like, I see them like I see them like I have places where I set the weights, like little marks that I set the weights at where I'm lifting like 70, 80. They're lifting like 40s. And I'm like, as much as I understand it's like everybody's moving at their own rate and I get all that, sometimes a little bit of self-comparison. Or a little bit of comparison to others, I should say. A little bit of comparison to others, and I'm like, that's right. I did do a little rant about this, how I get annoyed with people who aren't like pushing themselves in the gym enough. Maybe not enough. I guess the problem that I have is not pushing yourself at all. Like if you're going to the gym and you're not breaking a sweat, then what the fuck are you doing at the gym? Like, come on, dude. Especially because like my gym that I go to, it is so small. All right, there are like two sides of the gym that I go to. You're either on the cardio side or you're on the other side. All right, if you're gonna like work out, then goddamn work out, dude. Don't just sit on the weight machine and like haphazardly lift weights. Like, dude, when I'm lifting weights, I go till failure. What do I mean by failure? It means I cannot lift the thing anymore. I can't do it. I've tried and I've failed. My muscles won't let me do the thing anymore. That's going till failure, baby. I don't care if you lift like 20 pounds. You could be lifting goddamn 2 pounds in a bag of fucking Snickers, dude. For all I care. All that matters is that you are like if you are trying to grow muscles, if you're trying to make yourself stronger, if you're trying to get more healthy in the gym, you have to push yourself. You have to go till failure. If you are not going until you cannot physically lift the weight anymore, or you're not trying, or you're not going, or if it's not hard, you're not doing anything. If it's not hard, you're not doing anything. You don't go to the gym for it to be easy. No light workouts, okay? You go because it's hard. That's the point of the damn gym. Have my body... Exactly! That's fine! I don't care if you're lifting like I said, I don't care if you lift like 20 pounds. What matters is that you're trying. Is that you're trying hard. Is that it is hard. Is that you're working. It's a workout, not a chill out. That's all I care about. I got way more respect for those people who are like 300 pounds on their weight loss journey than I have with a bunch of like nobodies in the gym kind of like casually like fucking around with the weights. This shit is not a jungle gym, dude. This is not a jungle gym. Go to the goddamn playground. I'm not here to play around. All right? You can have fun in the gym, but it's not here, you know, it's not there for you to, you know, for you to mess around in, all right? You're there to get work done, right? Just do the work. That's all I want. End of rant. I do 143 squats. Maybe you should up the weight on those squats if you're doing 143. The only reason I don't go for more reps is because it just takes more time. That's why I don't like going for reps. It's not for any other reason. I just want the workout to take less time. So you just don't go for rep. If you just do more weight, it takes less time to do the workout. I think this run is cooked. 2 seconds. The max weight at my gym is fucking 25s. So I have 225 dumbbells that I put down. I do 20 a set. For squats. Can we lock in? Sorry. I don't want to, like... Well, nope, never mind. I just die because reasons. I sleep at the playground. That's a choice. That's a choice. Well, I mean, at least you're there for a reason, I guess. I can't squat for weight, unfortunately. Even though my form is a lot better than it used to be, but probably because I have a stronger back and I have better technique with my squats. I used to have bad technique with my squats. I've got good technique and I have a stronger back and I have a stronger core. And honestly, squats are a very like full body exercise, you know. To do like a good squat, you got to be able to have a good core. You have to have a good back. You have to good, you know, thighs, glutes, hams. There's a lot of things that go into a good squat. And now that I've strengthened all the parts of my body that contribute, my squats are better. It's great. Putting some focus into my back has done good things for me. Yeah. I don't think our runs are going to be on pace today. Yes, back exercises. I hate back exercises. And I hate core exercises. And so what I've done is that I've smashed them into one day. I do back and core on the same day, and it's my least favorite day in the gym. But I've come to appreciate those days because once I started doing back and core days, it's made all the other days of the gym like so much better. Like I can feel the improvements like in the way that I lift, like I so much more stability in my lifts, so much more like intention and purpose because my core is stronger, my back is like all the fundamental muscles that kind of govern the way your body works. All those muscles are now stronger for me. And it means that all my other lifts are better because of that. And so, as much as it fucking sucks, it is like, it's kind of just like working out in general. Working out sucks. It's not fun, but you do it, you know, you do it anyway. I might hit that. I almost had it. Tragic. Yeah, but back sucks. Just do like lat pull downs and good mornings are great. Good mornings, lat pull downs. All that good stuff. And then for core exercises, the funny thing about core is that like probably the best core exercises are just done without weights. Like you can just run your own body weight. It'll usually just give you better core stuff than like having an actual like core machine or anything. Just pull out the mat and start going. Three days at the gym. I have gotten up to 5. I used to do 3. Now I'm on 5 days at the gym, which I'm very happy about. I've made it a routine in my life. Oh, my run might be cooked. Yeah. That sucks. Even if I have a really good 7, I'm going to be down by at least 3 seconds. Yeah. I have arthritis. Damn, TB, you should, yeah, hope you've spoken to a doctor about this. Fucking cook. Well, the thing is, like, once you get it into, like, routine, it becomes so easy. You just gotta get into a routine. That's all it is. Once you're in a routine, like, going to the gym more just feels easy. Like, I used to do 3 days a week, and then I'm like, I want to go up to 5. And then I went up to 5, and it sucked for, like, the first week, and then the second week was just like, yeah, it's what it is. Now, every time I don't go to the gym 5 days a week, I'm like, damn, this sucks. Really confusing condition. Isn't arthritis, like, your hands are, like, shaking and shit? Or is that something else I'm thinking of? Were you clicking too fast in Minecraft PvP? Did you play too much 1.8 PvP? Did you T-beat? Were you clicking 20? And, you know, you paid the ultimate cost? Shall we practice PvP? When I get off Red Ball. I mean, apparently you're the PvP guy now, so I gotta talk to you about getting better. Inflammation in joints. How do you handle that? Like, is there a way, like, I know it's like, you know, is there ways you can, like, improve your condition or, like go to the gym to get stronger so, you know, you feel it less? Or is, like, are you kind of, like, relegated from being able to do, like, certain gym shit because you have arthritis? Does arthritis limit your ability to work out, as opposed to, like, if you just worked out, it would make it better? Physical therapy, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good thing. It's complicated. I bet it's like, it's probably a little bit of both. As most things, it's probably just in the middle. Limit. It's actually, yeah, so it's, that's what it's like somewhat better to, like, get active. To be active, even though, like, oh, scheisse. I'm not going to blame that on T-Beat. I want to blame that on T-Beat so bad, but I'm not going to, because I'm stronger. It was my own fault for distracting myself with this topic. T-Beat, it's your fault you were so interesting. How does that actually, like, affect your day-to-day life, I guess, would be a good question. Like, does it stop you from being able to do certain stuff? Or is it just like, you can do everything, it just hurts a little bit more to do everything? You just live life with a little bit more pain. JPHL, to hear you yap, you're dead ass. You're, Charles, you might actually be parasocial. When I get flares, it does, okay. So it's more like, it's a come and go type thing. I guess you are, like, probably, I don't know, I don't want to assume your age, but if you're watching this stream, you're probably a little bit younger. It's in my ass? Damn. Bro's never gonna get a... You're like a CS. Sorry. Holy backhanded compliment. Jesus. Charles kills me, bro. When it hurts, walking straight is hard, yeah. And I assume that shit only gets worse, like, as you grow older, and as you get, like, as you start degenerating, that shit is just gonna, man, that sucks. That fucking sucks. That might not happen for months. How long do flares last? Is it like a couple hours where you're just like, ah, fuck, this sucks? Or is it like a couple days where you're like, you just can't walk? Speaking of commentary, I actually wanted to talk a little bit about commentary. days? Damn, that fucking blows ass. So what? Do you just like roll around in like a wheelchair or something? You got like a cane? Like when it happens, or do you just like tough it out? You can. So yeah, okay. So it just sucks for a little bit. Can you sit down? Because you say it's in your ass. Like, is it in like your tailbone? Can you like sit on a hard chair at all, or do you have to get like a cushion? Sitting is fine. Okay. All right. So you know, it's like quirky arthritis. You've got quirky arthritis. It's not like the it's not like the arthritis everybody thinks of, but it's quirky. It's fun. It's like a little bit unique. It's special. Okay, awesome. One leg is the problem essentially. Man, I've been having something like that. I shouldn't say that. I've been having a thing where like I'm getting really intense cramps in my thighs. For some reason, I don't know. It's very annoying. I get really intense cramps in my thighs when I'm trying to do like leg days. It's been fucking up my leg days where I'm not able to do them because I'll just get these insane cramps. I'm like, I don't know if it's like because I'm not stretching out or I have some kind of like tear in the muscle or something. But like whenever I start pushing it too hard, I start getting crazy crampage and I don't know why. Sucks bad. First step. Man, okay. Well, you know, I guess it's not the worst, like, you know, permanent disease you could be afflicted with, right? I say this as the man who has no, you know, permanent diseases. Sheep03, Mr. Perfectly healthy individual. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, T-Beat. I appreciate it. I didn't know that. That's a very interesting conversation. I appreciate that. I appreciate you being very open. Look at that. Wholesome sheep. It's times like these that I remember, like, the names in my chat, there's actually, like, people behind those names. It's not just, like, a bunch of, like, characters that, like, flow through at random times. These are, like, real individuals. I'm 100% AI generated? Damn. If you were AI generated, then I'm cooked. It's actually over for me. Just put me in, at that point, just put me into the Matrix, you know? It's not worth it. That's true. But arguably, you have no evidence that I'm a real person either. You have no evidence that I actually am a human at all. You just think I'm a human. You don't know I'm a human. You don't know if I'm even alive. I could be dead right now. This could be the fucking this could be my reanimated corpse with a falsified alien mind in my head. This is not a real human brain. This is a false alien mind that I'm using to surveil the human race and eventually cause your downfall. You don't know if I'm conscious or not. The only thing you know is that you're alive. You cannot tell about... All you can do is make assumptions. That's the best part about philosophy, is that the deeper you get into the weeds, the more useless it becomes. So what I'm trying to say is that all the shit that I'm saying right now is shit that you should not be thinking about. You have so many better things to do with your life. The more deep you get into philosophy, the more useless it becomes. At what point are we actually having useful philosophical conversations, or are we just having conversations to jerk each other off with our knowledge of how deep in the fucking chain of shit we've gone down? Who can tell? I'm 1 second down. I almost hit level 6, but I failed at the last second, even though I thought I hit it. I was gonna talk about, oh shit, my next topic. You guys totally caught me off guard. Oh yeah, casting. I was gonna talk about casting. I got to cast with a new caster on JBHL stuff. It was very interesting. You know, whenever I've started to like have this thing with all like with all the casters that I work with in like JBHL, BHL, if anybody ever says that they're like, oh, I've done this casting stuff in like real life, I start to get like really sus. Like I instantly become like, I don't know if you're even that good. And 9 times out of 10, it is like some of these casters just fucking suck. I think with this new guy that I worked with, he wasn't like... It was interesting because he wasn't bad for the reasons why people are usually bad. Usually the reason why people suck at casting, especially for the first time, is just lack of enthusiasm and lack of energy and lack of things to say. Sometimes people lack the ability to talk about things in an interesting way, and they lack the energy to keep the cast going. I think this guy, he had all the energy. It was just mistimed and misappropriated. I think that's a thing that I've been working on a lot myself, like learning how to appropriate energy in a cast. Because you can't be going 100 all the time, or else everything becomes flat and bland. And also, if you go 100 all the time, you're going to kill yourself. But you don't want to go 0 all the time because then you're boring and miserable, right? So there has to be some middle ground. And how you fluctuate the energy is a really fun way of how you make the cast better. You're able to take people on that emotional journey through the game. And I think that the guy that I was working with, he was constantly at 100, or at least close to it. And I'm like, man, I mean, you've got... Like, literally, it was like the very first goal of the very first game, and he was like, go! And I'm like, dog. It is, like, this is a regular season game. This is a regular season game. It's the first goal of the night. It wasn't even that special. Why are we popping off for this shit? Why are we popping off for a fucking nothing burger? The other beef that I had with him is that he refused to give me space to talk. That's another thing that new casters do. Man, oh, it pisses me off. Like, you give space to your color person to talk. It's the biggest thing that I bitch about, and I try to give space for my color person to talk. I always do. Half the time, the problem for me is that sometimes that even when I give space, my color person refuses to talk. But for the most part, I feel like I do a pretty good job of like being able to pass it off to my color person. I know I'm the main caster, I understand that, but I also understand that as the color person, you need to get your licks in. Your job is to get your licks in. You need to get your licks in. And I try to make sure that even during like game, like not giving space for your other person to talk sucks. But another thing that fucking sucks, is as a play-by-play caster, always doing play-by-play. That's the biggest thing. Like that is the number one rulio that I think that new casters or like beginner people who've never really done this before, that's the biggest pitfall they fall into, is that they're always calling the play. That is bad. You don't always want to call the play, because there's only so much play to call. Sometimes it's best to just stop and wait and talk about some other shit. Talk about like the general vibes. Talk about the storyline. Like, your job as a caster is to bring them through this match. And this match has context. How do you talk about that context? Talk about things in a more general sense. Being able to analyze things from multiple different levels. Not just from the instant macro play-by-play, but from a bigger sense. How are they doing this period? How are they doing in this second? What's good? What's bad? What's succeeding? What's not succeeding? Having a conversation with your color caster could be is a really great way of doing that. When you and your duo have really good synergy, it's a lot easier to have like this conversations about stuff like, oh, blah, 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 and then they're just able to bounce off of you and go from there. That's one thing that I've also been learning how to do, is to bounce off of people. Instead of just finishing like my color caster ends the thing and I say, yeah, or uh-huh, or I agree, like some kind of way to transition. No more transition words. I am done with using transition words. I just go straight into it. Find some way to instantly get into the next thing. Stop with the ums and the ahs and the pauses and the whatnot. Just go right into it. That's what I do. Alright? I like this shit. I'm learning constantly. I need to watch back my own... I need to watch back my own cast, because I learned a lot of this stuff by watching my old casting. Being able to point out, like, little mistakes. And then even now, I'm able to catch myself more frequently now of, like, hey... I'm able to, I'm getting better because I'm pausing less frequently. I'm able to continue my speech. I'm able to continue my speech, like, throughout. Well, commentating, casting, you can call it whatever you want. I call it casting just because casting is much more of, like, it's esports-esque term. I think commentating is a more, like, regular sports-esque term. But, man, it's like... Casting, broadcasting, yeah, it's kind of one and the same, with like because like you're so intertwined with the broadcast. Like the cast is the broadcast in some ways. It's a whole thing. But yeah, commentation. There's an art to it. It's an art that I've been interested in. It's been a very fun journey to learn more. And I think this is the very first time I've ever had, like, a long-term, like, gig where I can, like, if I ever want to commentate more shit, I can just click the button. I have a gig whenever I want to. I have practice whenever I feel like I want practice, and it's making me, like, so much better than I thought I could ever be at this. And that's really cool. Ooh-wee! You know, it's not the worst 7 in the world. I'm trying not to be too stressed right now. You're kidding! I jumped too early, 9! Oh, kill me, dude. What a cringe way to die. I had such a run going too. Fuck me, man. Level 9. I don't even get a chance at the frame perfect. That's so annoying. I'm not much of a speaker, though. One of my talents, TB. One of my unique advantages. Although it is something I've developed over, like, the years I've been doing this, I can yap pretty good. Good things, bad things. Who do they got on desk right now? I'm kind of curious. Breadman, Kiz, Zombie Magikarp, Dremmings, Avery Doors, and R's. Honestly, I might hop in for the last game. Maybe just be a desk. They're talking about latex in my fucking Discord. God damn it. These nerds. Well, I lost the run. I think it's cooked. I need to go to bed early anyway. I'll go check in. Maybe just listen into the game, honestly. Just listen into the commentation. Alright, gamers. I'm going to call it a day, I think. That was a pretty good run to end it off on. Nothing that I'm particularly happy with, I think, this day. But just more practice, more time spent in the game. At some point, you know, it'll hit. You just got to keep believing. Someday it's going to come. It has. I've been doing that outro for a very long time. I don't think I'm ever going to stop. I don't want to end it. I like my outro. I think I stole it from somewhere, but at this point I kind of forgot where I stole it from, so now it's mine. It's been real, it's been fun, it's been real fun, but I've got to get out of here, gamers. I will talk to you, I believe, on Thursday? Yeah, it's going to be a Thursday that I'll talk to you next. It's Red Ball, you know the drill. Either way, peace. Bye.